Good afternoon or good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there. Welcome to another episode of Safari Live, and a special welcome to Bennett Elementary from the USA. Welcome to your school drive. I hope you are going to have lots and lots of fun with us. My name is Steve Falconbridge, and I'm joined on camera all the way over there by the vehicle by Fergus, who's going to be doing all the shots. I'm going to be doing all the talking. Please ask your teacher, send through any questions you'd like, any comments you'd like. I know you're looking to do science and habitat research. How fantastic is that? Now, we are in South Africa, the Sabi Sand, great Kruger National Park. There are wild animals abounding, and we are hoping to find you some. Right now, I'm sitting on a very big termite mound. Very important for the habitat out here. These guys are responsible for breaking down lots and lots of grass and cellulose material, just like this, which is then recycled back into the soil for nutrients. So probably one of the most important habitat managers out here is the very small and tiny termite. And what I'm sitting on is an enormous mound, and inside are millions and millions of little things that are moving around constantly in the search, a never-ending search of food, which then recycles back into the soil, and slowly the cycle starts over again. Once the grass goes back into the soil, the trees will grow, the grass will grow, and that provides the food and the nourishment for all of our animals that we have here. And then the animals that feed on the grass and the trees, then we have lions and we have leopards, which we're hoping to maybe show you at least one of those on this drive this afternoon. So please send through your questions with the teacher. Let us know what you want to see. And I'm going to come down from my high horse while Fergus shows you the beautiful sky in the background. So while we look at that beautiful sky, we're going to go over to my friend Brent Leo Smith, who's also out on game drive and also would like to say good afternoon.
Well, hi guys, lovely to have you on the drive. As Steve said, my name's Brent. I have my good friend known as the Wildebeest. That's of course his nickname. My cameraman isn't really a Wildebeest. His name is Wim, but he filmed a live Wildebeest birth, and since then his nickname has been the Wildebeest. Now, habitats. Sure, you guys must be clever if you're learning about habitats. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about habitats, but once I've checked what I thought might be a leopard, because that's what I'm looking for, and it's gone. Whatever I was looking at in the long grass. Oh, interesting. It's not a leopard. It's a baby termite mound. Okay. So, since I'm looking for leopards and you're learning about habitats, leopard are one of the most incredible animals because they have the most diverse habitat range out of any of the big cats. They can live in jungle, they can live in mountains, they can live in deserts, they can live in grasslands, they can live in savannas. They are incredibly adaptable creatures. Oh, hello. There's a car coming. Let's not have an accident. Minjan! How long are you for? Okay, there we go. I was just saying hello. So those people in the bright yellow... What have you seen, Wim? Ah, Wim has seen a squirrel. Now, this is a very different squirrel from the one you would have seen. This is called an African tree squirrel, bush squirrel, or Smith's bush squirrel. It's got quite a few different names. Now, they're very important animals for us when we're looking for leopards, because if they see a leopard, they'll start chattering, going, leopard, 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 and they tell us where the leopards are sometimes. But he hasn't seen a leopard, but he is keeping a lookout. Very, very busy little guys. They collect marula nuts. Unlike your squirrels, these guys will not hibernate. They will collect and store food like North American squirrels. However, it never gets cold enough for them to hibernate here, so they are active all through the year. During the winter months, there's less food for them, so they do keep a stash of food hidden in a hole in a tree. Now, remember, I want to hear all your questions. I can't wait to hear questions from you, but we're talking about how adaptable leopards are. And guys, you're not allowed to be shy. You're on a game drive. Look at this, how amazing it is. So I want your questions, and if you don't send me questions, I'm going to ask you questions. So the first question I've got for you, I've already talked about a leopard. What is another big cat that occurs in Africa. So I've told you about a leopard. Who can tell me what's another big cat that occurs in Africa? There we've got some of the big cat's favorite food, warthog disappearing off into the grass. And round the corner. Now, this morning I had a leopard very close to where we are now, so I'm hoping he hasn't moved too far and we can find him. Oh, martial eagle. Now, there is something the squirrels are really scared of. That is the king of the skies out here. It's the biggest eagle we get, and he'll eat squirrels. He'll even eat small antelope. There we go. Lovely. You don't see them too often, and they are very big. Their wingspan is taller than me, as longer than I am tall, and I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'3", so their wings are wider than I am tall. Isn't that beautiful? Now, we should start hearing the squirrels. I was talking about how they shout at leopards. If they see a bird like that, they'll also shout at that big bird. Except they won't say leopard, 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 leopard anymore. They'll say eagle, 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 eagle. Oh, we've got another eagle joining the fray here. Looks like a tawny. So we've got two eagles, a martial eagle and a tawny eagle. Now, both of these eagle species are resident eagle species, so they live here all year round. We've got other eagles that only come for the summer, and as soon as it starts getting a little chilly, they head back to the north, so they don't like winter. They only stay in summer all year round. Okay, so much to see, and I haven't even got to where the leopard was yet. I'm hoping he's still snoozing in the same spot, but leopards do move during the day. Now, you've met Steve, you've met me, but we've got one more person left who's going to help us take you on the best safari ever, and that's Taylor McCurdy.
Hello everybody, I'm very confused this afternoon because we are looking at a heron that is pretending to be a duck. I don't know why it's so far out in the water. Normally we see them on the edge of the water. That is the first time I've ever seen anything like that in my entire life. But like Brent said, my name is Taylor, and on camera with me today is Batman. Not the real Batman though, his real name is Craig, and we are sitting at a dam called Buffelshoek Dam, and there's lots and lots of different things here, so we've got lots of cool things to show you. So like I said, it's really, really weird. You can see there's Egyptian geese on the left, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Wading and swimming, not wading, swimming in the water. That's Mr. and Mrs. Egyptian goose. They're very pretty birds, but unfortunately a big pest in South Africa. They are not the favorite of the golf players because they take over entire golf courses. And it's not very nice. But I've never seen that heron doing what it's doing. It's weird. It's very strange. That's so cool. Now, I don't know if it can stand there. I think it must be quite deep in the middle of this dam. I've never gone swimming in this dam because there's often hippos and crocodiles, and well, they'll eat me if they catch me in the water. Like I said, they've got very, very long legs and they normally stand on the outside of the water fishing. That's so cool. That's really amazing. I might even have to take a video of that at some point. Merrick, the types of roads we're driving on are gravel or dirt roads, I suppose. Not any... Oh, look, it caught something. Look, it got a fish. That's really clever. So it's obviously decided that it's not catching any fish standing on the outside of the water. In the shallow water, it's now going to come into the middle, which is something, like I said, I've never ever seen before. And it's using its legs, it's kicking. See, they don't have any webbing between their toes either, like the ducks and the geese do. They've got webbing so that can help them go really quick along the water. So it's just out for a Sunday paddle. That's so cool. I suppose anything can float, hey? It just needs to try. That's so amazing. Looks like it's already got its next target in mind. I thought I saw something leap out of the water. Let's go see if it's going to find that fish. Maybe it's going to trick all the fish today in thinking that it is a duck, because most of the ducks don't eat fish. They'll be eating algae and plants. Sneaky heron. A very, very sneaky heron. Now, remember, you can ask as many questions as you like. And if you want to ask any questions about birds or maybe hippos, I'd love to hear from you. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drive up a little bit further so that I can show you a hippo. I think that heron is going to where the fish are jumping. That is amazing. I don't know why I've never seen that before. Cool, let's have a quick look here. Oh, hello, hippos in the green water. Let's see if they're going to say hello to us. Make sure we don't drive off the damn wall. There we go. There's a hippopotamus for you. A nice big one. Just having a little sleep. He's got his eyes closed. Not really concentrating too hard. And he's going to go under the water. And then he'll come back up the water. And they're able to do this while they're sleeping. So it's kind of like when you breathe. You don't have to concentrate to try and breathe. Your body just does it by itself. And this hippo going up and down is basically like the same thing. And look how cool it is that their nostrils, their eyes, their ears, they're all above the water. Now, they don't want to expose too much of their body outside the water because they can get sunburn. So that's something that you must remember, is always to wear sun protection when you go outside, especially on a hot day or even a cloudy day. Because even the hippos wear sunscreen. They just don't have their moms and dads to help put it on for them. And they secrete a special substance that covers their whole body. Now, Gage, we don't have turtles out here. Craig's going to try and find some for you. The turtles that we know live in the ocean. We call, that's elephant dung though, Craig, I think that you've spotted there. But I did see some terrapins down in the left-hand corner. I think around there I saw a few moving. So we've got things called terrapins, which are like what you would call a turtle, but they're very shy. They've gone under the water. Let me see if I look here, if I can find any. They're hiding from us today. The animals don't want to be our friends. I might have to go back to where that heron was to see if we can find some terrapins. Oh, what are the hippos doing? They look like they're getting quite excited. We will go back to look for the terrapins, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about them. But let's have a look at the hippos. Now, they've gone underwater. They can hold their breath for a very long time, for up to 6 minutes. Can you imagine holding your breath for 6 minutes? That's crazy. I don't even think I can do 45 seconds underwater. That's awesome. So they can't swim, well, very well. They sort of do a weird pedaling motion with their feet, but I don't think that gets them far. So they sink to the bottom and they run along the bottom of the floor. Like if you were to put weights underneath your feet, or when you blow all the air out in the swimming pool and you go down and then you walk along the bottom of the pool, that's like what hippos do, except they don't have to blow out all that air. They can keep some of it. Now, we'll sit here and see if we can find some terrapins to show you because they're really cool reptiles. Steve, however, has got the smallest predator in the bush.
Yes, I do. Thanks very much, Taylor. We've managed to find the dwarf mongoose, which live in small little families, and they are the smallest carnivore in South Africa, I believe, maybe on the African continent, I'm not sure, but definitely in South Africa. And they are living inside of a termite mound. So that is one going, whoops, up it goes. There's a whole family of them, and that is a big termite mound. And so, as I spoke before about the termite mound being important for the breakdown of nutrients and the recycling, there's also many species, about 28 mammal species that actually are known to live inside of termite mounds, because they provide these very nice burrows, and it's very nice and cool inside there, and in winter it's also quite warm, so it's quite a sort of stable climate. And when you're small like a mongoose, it's nice to just disappear into a hole when there are bigger predators like that martial eagle and tawny eagle that Brent had flying around looking for small prey like that on the ground. So how marvelous is that? They've disappeared now. I wonder where they've gone. They live in small family groups of between 6 and about maybe 15 animals. Nope, They are gone. Oh, well, we are going to move off. But how marvellous is that? Well, we're going to go back over to Taylor, see what she's up to.
Now, we've tried to find some terrapins. Craig, have you managed to find some? I think there's some down here. Can you see them in the water? It's a bit difficult. There they are. So those are called terrapins. We have to wait for them to put their heads up. But they look like the turtles, like a snapping turtle. But we don't call them turtles because in Africa, a turtle has got flippers and they live in the sea. And then a terrapin is something between a turtle and a tortoise. And the tortoise is the one that lives on the land. So this is like a water tortoise. Something really cool. And it is moving around in all that algae now. There's normally a whole lot more of them, but I don't know where they've all gone. All the animals are hiding from us today. There's a few more. You may be able to see them put their heads out. Now, they eat lots of different things, insects and all sorts of things. Now, Joanna, Craig was very good, hey, at spotting all that elephant poo on the side of the water, and there's lots of it. You can actually see. So just by those Egyptian geese, there's a nice pile. And Joanna, I don't know where the elephants are. I was hoping to meet them here. I told them to meet me here at 3:45 this afternoon on safari to come and have a drink and come and have a swim at the dam. But it seems as though they're late. There's this thing called Africa time, so maybe they got confused and are only going to be here a little bit later this evening. But you're right, they come here all the time and they love it in the water. It's their favorite thing. There's actually some more hippos now. There's a third hippo, which I hadn't seen before. I only saw 2 hippos initially. So that one must have been holding its breath for a very, very long time. But they don't want to do too much now. It's too hot. I kind of want to be the hippo, don't you? Swimming all day long, relaxing in the sun, sleeping. It's so nice because the hippos are more active during the day. So they actually, at night, they come out of the water at nighttime when it's nice and cool and the sun can't burn them. And can any of you guess what hippos eat? If you know the answer, you can tell your teacher. You don't have to shout out. You can put your hand up, and then your teacher will ask you what you think a hippopotamus eats. And I look forward to all of your answers. So we'll come back to the hippos. There's some other birds by the Egyptian geese, Craig, those black and white ones. Those are also really cool birds. They are called blacksmith lapwings, and they are some of the bossiest birds out here. They don't like it when any other birds come near the watering hole, and they normally chase them. I wonder why they're not having a fight with the Egyptian geese. They'll fly around and bop the other birds on their heads and shout. Oh, and there's another one. We've got another species of bird. That's number 4. That is a water thickney. Also, they're normally more nocturnal. So nocturnal is a word we use to describe animals that are very active at night. So they sort of are doing more things at nighttime. I'm surprised to see that water thickney out. They're often cowering in the shade of the day. Now, Hayden, we were just saying that there's only 3 hippos in this dam, unless the others are practicing their scuba diving techniques and maybe holding their breaths for a little bit longer. But now we can't see any. Look, they've all disappeared. Where are they? And I'm still waiting for you to guess. Oh, here we go. You have guessed. Let's see what the answers are for what hippos eat. Now, I believe all of you have guessed plants. Well done. They love plants, but their favorite plant to eat is grass. That's their absolute favorite, but our hippos are not playing with us anymore, and they seem to have gone underwater. So they can eat lots and lots and lots of grass every single night. So they have a buffet for the whole evening. Imagine only eating when the sun goes down, and then you have to stop eating when the sun comes up. Pretty cool, eh? I'm glad we don't have to do that, though, because I'd rather sleep at night. Right, off you go across to Brent, and I think he's on his way to another big dam.
Well, we actually had some little water points just below that big water hole, and I was hoping that maybe a little leopard. Oh, well spotted, VM. There's a little black crake. A little aquatic bird that lives in thick reeds. We don't see them nicely like that very often. And sometimes there's even baby crocodiles down here. Oh, the cracks are about to come onto the open view. They very seldom go onto the open. You can see he doesn't like being where you can see him. He's running. Oh, I need to get back to where I can hide. Oh dear, what did I do? I'm panicking. Why did I go into the open? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, thick grass again. I'm happy. So they prefer to skulk around in those thickets like that. And I was hoping that maybe that leopard I was looking for came down here for a drink. Let's see if we can find some baby crocodiles around here as well. What is going on here? I think I saw a lizard. Oh, it's a baby crocodile. That's exactly what we were looking for. I heard it scuffle through the long grass. Hello, little crocodile. So, the baby crocodiles were probably born in the big waterhole, but it's very dangerous there, because if you're a baby crocodile, lots of things can eat you. So birds will eat you, other crocodiles will eat you, even really big fish will eat you. So this shallow little puddles behind are much, much safer for the baby crocodile, because at this age they mostly eat insects and little fish. So this is a perfect spot for them to be. I'd say that one is probably close on 7 or 8 months old, even though it's so small, maybe even a bit older. Oh, excellent question, Weston. Weston is wondering what habitat this is. Weston, this is what we would call riverine habitat. So this is a little riverbed, so a little stream or creek. I thought I heard something there, Weston. So a little stream or creek, and there's obviously water and reeds like there's here. Don't all the crocodiles swimming. Water and reeds and some little bit of marshy area, and then on the edge of that you've got big trees. These are riverine trees. They grow close to where there's lots of good water, so you don't find a lot of these trees away from these little river areas. And yes, Weston, there are far more than one type of habitat. So our main habitat that we're in here is called savanna, but if we have to be more specific, we're actually in a broad-leafed woodland called, have you spotted another crocodile? Nope, you're just looking. A broad-leafed woodland, which is dominated by bush willows. Let me find you a bush willow quickly. There's one right here with the seeds. So bush willow trees dominate this broadleaf woodland. You get different types of broadleaf woodland, so you could consider them different habitats. We also have areas of open grassland. So there are habitats within habitats within habitats. So savanna itself is not a habitat, it's a biome. So a biome encompasses a lot of different habitats. So this is a russet bush willow. And those are the seeds, and the bush willows are the main species of tree in our habitat. Now they're very specially designed, so when they fall off the tree, that's the seed, just like that. And if I now go, get ready, you ready, Vim? Maybe if I blow on it, it's going to move like a wheel. It ran away from me. Let's do that again. So what happens is when the wind blows strongly, it disperses the seeds, so spreads them all over the place. Oh, it ran away. It's gone. Let's keep moving. And I say, I'm still hoping that leopard's sleeping in the shade down here, somewhere where it's nice and cool. It's quite warm today. Presley, that's a good question, Presley. How many animals are there in the reserve? Well, I'm only going to try and remember all the big ones that are a bit easier, but I'm still waiting for your answer to what is another big cat that lives in Africa. So I'm still waiting for your answer, guys. So before I get to the cats, I'm going to start with some antelope. So our antelope are similar to deer, but they're not deer. We don't have any naturally occurring deer in southern Africa, but antelope we can start. We've got Impala, which is the most common, the most numerous. We have kudu, inyala, bushbuck, Steinbach, duiker. Oh, them! Well done. I was hoping that leopard was around here somewhere. That doesn't look like a leopard. No, who is that? It could be Tingana. It didn't look like the Sino who's the leopard we're looking for. Here we go. I said we were hoping the leopard was down here somewhere. Who are you? Good spot, Vim. It looks like Tingana. Hello, old man. He is a very old, well, he's not very old, but he's one of the older male leopards we get in this area. His name is Tingana, which means shy, but he's not shy anymore. He used to be shy when he arrived in this area, but he is no longer shy. So he's having a bit of a tough time at the moment. There's young new males that are coming in and giving him problems and pushing him around. He's been fighting quite a bit. Well, it's always good when a plan walks out. We're actually looking for a different leopard called Hasana, and it makes sense that Hasana might not be here. Oh, no, there's another leopard. There's two leopards. There's Hasana. I was just turned around, I heard some noise. So there's another leopard right here. That's the one I was looking for. His name is Hosana. And that's probably, most likely, we can never be 100% sure with leopards, that's probably his dad. Let's just see in a spot where we can see both of them nicely. And a little bit further back so we're in the shade because it is quite hot. Oh no, we're not winning here. Is there a drop off there, Bjorn? Okay. Okay, we're just going to move slightly. So, what a treat! Not one, but two leopards. Now, the animal that an animal that really wants to avoid leopards because it's one of their favourite foods is a Steinbach. Let's go across to Steve.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Brett. How marvellous it is that you found two male leopards. I think that is actually quite ridiculous, but how marvellous is it indeed? This is a Steinbach, boys and girls, and it is hidden now behind the bushes. And I hope you got a good look at it there. It is a fully grown animal, that is, not a baby. That is a fully grown male, and Brett is very correct. Those individuals are very quiet and secretive, and they want to hide from leopards and from us, it seems. He's run behind the bush, and that seems to be the end of the Steinbach. Is he coming again? There he goes, on the left. He's walking quite deliberately. You see the horns on top of the head? That means he's a boy or a man. And very big ears. You often find them on their own. They do live in a small sort of pair partnership with a female. And they're a very, very, very successful little antelope. You see how small their mouth is? They feed on only the best and most nutritious leaves and grasses available. They don't feed on any fiber or any of the roughage. They only feed on the best vegetation available. And they're even known to hide in termite mounds like the dwarf mongoose, in much bigger holes, of course. And there we go. That's how the cookie crumbles. Off it goes. Steinbach disappears into the bushes. Kim Lee, we would love to show you a zebra. We haven't seen a zebra in our area for some time. I'm not sure why, but let's hope. We are in an area now that is quite good for zebra. It's quite nice and open. If Ferg just pans and shows you how open this vegetation is, this is the perfect sort of area or habitat for zebra. They like lots of grass, and it needs to be quite open for them so that they can see predators approaching. And obviously they need lots and lots of grass. Okay, so from our exciting Steinbach, let's go back to Brent Leo Smith, who has got two leopards.
Hello, little man. So this is the young boy. His name is Hosana. Always a big yawn. Look at his teeth. And well done, guys. The big cats that occur in Africa are indeed, apart from leopard, lion and cheetah. But jaguars don't. Ooh, Impala running in. Let's see if they spot it. They haven't spotted it. Tingana spotted it. He just changed his body language completely. And Hosana is going towards his dad. Now, sometimes leopard dads are not very friendly. I'm just going to roll forward here quickly. There we go. He's already growling. So now, is already growling and snarling, the dad. So I was just warning that leopard dads are sometimes not very friendly at all. He's right behind him now. Look at this. This is incredible. This is not something you see every day. You can see how much bigger his dad is. See how much bigger his neck is. You can still hear him growling. There's the little boy. I wonder if he's going to try follow some more. Okay. We need to move. Stay here for now, and we can see both of them. So what he's doing now is smelling where his dad was. A lot of leopard communication takes place through the smell, so they leave scent marks. Even the smell of a leopard will tell another leopard a lot about that leopard. Now, leopards, Zayden, have a very varied diet. They can eat, but mostly small to medium-sized antelope. And there we go. Let's just get there where he's laid down, and we can get both of them. Here we go, we can see both of them now. They're both looking quite hungry. They sometimes will share a food, but it's not very common. Yeah, I'm going to sit here to see what happens next with these leopards. In the meantime, let's go see what Steve's up to.
Thanks, Brent. Now, some animals that would try and stay very far away from those leopards are these impala, and there are lots of them. You can see that one who just went out the right of the screen had very little horns on the top of his head. There is another one there, actually, two of them. Those are young males. They were born in November, so they're not very old, and they were in a breeding herd. That was a female that just walked past, an adult female, and they live in herds so as to protect themselves against hunting leopards and lions. And even baby impala, when they are born, are at risk to large predatory birds like that martial eagle that Brent showed you earlier. So it's very important for these animals to stick around together in a herd so that they can be protected. It's not that they can fight the leopards and the lions, but hopefully they can run away together. And there's lots of eyes and ears watching where they're going. So someone's always watching to see if the leopard or lion are coming. And that is how they keep safe. Fantastic, isn't it? Probably the most common antelope species we have in southern Africa, in the savanna biome. and they are very, very successful because they have the ability, boys and girls, to feed on grass when the grass is good, and then when the grass loses its sort of tastiness or greenness, then they can switch to the leaves and fruits on the trees. So they are very successful like that. Hello, Lillian. You would like to know what animals sleep during the day? And normally it seems to me to be that crocodiles will sleep whenever they want to. Hippos generally are kind of dozing in the pond or the lakes, the dams during the daytime. And quite often you'll find lions and leopards lions and leopards sleeping during the heat of the day, and then they are more active at night. So lots of other animals are sort of moving around and running around during the daytime when they can see better and when the predators are less active. And the reason the predators are less active in the day is because it's so hot. But if it is overcast and rainy and quite cool, very likely you could have the predators moving around. So, Lillian, I hope that answers your question. We are going to move on because, as you can see, this herd of Impala has just disappeared into the thickets. Helen, it is 85 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. It is actually a very nice day. 3 days ago, it was 91, and about 2 weeks ago, it was 105. That is hot, isn't it? And we don't have we do have a swimming pool, but we need a bigger swimming pool because that swimming pool that we have gets so warm, it's like climbing into a bath when it is a very hot day. Okay, well, let's go over to Taylor, who I think has also got some beautiful antelope.
We do. We've got the same ones you were looking at, Steve, but a beautiful big boy. A nice Impala ram, all on his own, just standing and watching us at the moment. Hello. You better be careful all by yourself, because those leopards that Brent saw would love to eat you, and we're not too far away from where Brent was. So it's very, very dangerous that he's standing here by himself. And that's why it is important that prey species, so animals that are eating grasses and leaves and things like that, that they live in groups so they can help one another by listening, by watching, by picking up the scents of some predators. But there he goes, behind some wattles. But I did see quite a cool bird with a long tail that I'm going to try and show you next. I'm going to find it, though. It's just flown into the grass. Let's see if we can find them again, but we might be eating something in the grass. Now, Mrs. Wyrick, it's quite easy to stay safe on the reserve. I think they're in the grass. We don't know if we're going to be able to see those birds. We'll find some more. Oh, look at that pretty butterfly, Craig. Can you see that monarch? No, and it's just flown away. Never mind. There was a butterfly. And we're not in any danger from these animals. These animals really don't want to hurt us, not even a little bit. They are so happy to carry on with their day. They are eating grass like the impalas. The only ones that they're watching out for are the lions, the leopards, the hyenas, the cheetah, the wild dog, because we as humans don't want to hunt them. I've just seen some leopard tracks that were not here this morning. So as long as we stay in the cars and we don't go running around, we should be fine. I need to jump out the car very quickly to have a look what's going on here, because there's 2 sets of leopard tracks from what I can see. Let me show you these ones, Craig. I might be a bit close. Can you see here? Too close. If you look here, here's the back of the leopard foot. 1, 2, 3, 4 toes. And then I saw some more, but I have to walk a little further away. I think we've got a mommy and a cub that we're walking here. I wonder if these are Tandis and Slatlamba. Now I can't say its name now. After all this time. This is so exciting. Slalamba. There we go. How cool is that? Craig, I don't know, can you see this far away? Too far. But there's a little leopard track over here. Now, I know our regular viewers are going to be very, 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 very happy by the fact that I've got this young leopard track here. And I've got a female leopard track on the other side, so we're going to go back in that direction to try and find them. I can't remember seeing these tracks this morning. They look like they're over my tracks because I drove down this road twice. That's very cool. I know they did find another leopard in the property just down that way with a young cub. So it could be them too, but that's still pretty nice that we've seen a mom and a baby leopard cub's tracks. In her favorite area too. I will try. I'll probably have to get out on foot and try and follow these tracks as best as I can to see if I can find them. Right, let's go back to Steve and see if he's going to find any cool birds for you all to see.
We are looking very hard. I don't know where they've disappeared to. We had some very nice... Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. This is the habitat, nice and open for a wildebeest. There it is. And wildebeest and zebra like to share very similar habitats because they like... Well, the wildebeest like short grass, and they often feed after the zebra. So the zebra will chop the grass down, and then the wildebeest will chop it a bit shorter, and the impala can feed at even shorter depth to the ground than the wildebeest. You can see there's a big male. The horns are quite wide apart, but there is a little branch in the way. Should I move back a bit, Ferg? Forward a little bit. Oopsie, let's change gears. Say when you're happy. There we go. Oh, now he's going to move, of course. Remember, boys and girls, this is absolutely live, so I can't tell you what the wildebeest will do, if he'll move his head left or right, or if he'll go down and eat, or if he might do a little dance. You never know what could happen live on TV. Brooklyn, we don't know where the lions are this morning. I think they're in the west on sort of the private reserve just next door to us where we don't have permission to go driving. But we had the lions in the property for the last probably 3 days, and they crossed out yesterday morning. But who knows, this evening they might come back in again. They move in response to food, and they love wildebeest and impala. Almost, they like impala almost as much as Brent's leopards. So let's go to him and see what his leopards are up to.
Well, they are just lying down in the sand, still quite close to each other. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? There we go. Dominant male and the next generation. It is absolutely gorgeous. Very, very rare to see this type of interaction. Oh, here we go again. He might get growled at again. There we go, he's getting snarled at again. Oh, you just got spotted as well. I think the monkeys just spotted the leopards. You can hear the monkeys. Remember I told you squirrels will talk as well, so monkeys do as well. They're just saying, leopard, 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 everyone, careful, leopard. Now, it's not impossible that there's another leopard even in this area that monkey is alarm calling at, because this morning I had alarm calls while we were sitting with Hasana, and Tingana was on Juma, so there could very easily be a third leopard in this little valley today. Brett, leopards run faster than you or me. Brett, they run very, very fast. They do about 24 meters per second, but they can't run fast for very, very long. So they never normally run further than about 15 or 20 meters at full speed, but they cover that ground in a blink of an eye. And as I say, they're both hungry, and they probably both won't hunt because they're scared the other will steal its food. Oof, he's being hissed at again. Hello, Delilah. Delilah, in the wild, male leopards normally live to about 12 or 13 years old, sometimes as long as 14, and females live to about 15 or 16. But that can always change because they might die at a younger age from fighting or from lions. So you never know what's going to happen, Delilah. Oh, he's giving himself a clean. Well, guys, it's been so fun having you on your very own private school safari. So, very exciting. Hopefully, we'll have you on another safari soon. But for now, we're going to say goodbye to the beautiful leopards. And we're going to send you across to Steve to welcome our normal viewers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the live show. It was wonderful having the kids on board this afternoon. I'm sure they are learning lots, and how fortunate they were to see all these marvelous animals this afternoon. And you see what we have? We've got a beautiful leopard track there. Obviously came down to this little puddle to drink. Very difficult to say how old it is, because when it's in mud like that, it doesn't age very well, or it doesn't dry out very quickly. So it's very hard to say, but it definitely looks like a male leopard track by the size. And there are two of them there from where he put his 2 feet forward to have a little drink. Yeah, no, we are in the west. We are nowhere near where Taylor is. Thanks, Nix. We're on Impala Road at the moment. So we are going to carry on checking the dams and just little water holes like this to hopefully find a leopard or anything. I would love to find some elephants. It's been ages since I've seen any elephants, so that would be marvelous to see. And let's go check all the water. But let's go back over to Brent, who has got still 2 leopards.
Look how close the big male is to us. He's just wandered past. We can't see the little boy just yet. Look at that. There might be some potential prey. He's just changed his body language. Oh no, he's having a wee. I couldn't see that because he's so close to the car. It looked like he was crouching down, getting ready to go attack something. But there are 2 vehicles still with Hasana, so I think we stick with Tingana while he's moving. Angela, yes, Hasana is behaving badly, but if you remember quarantine with Kunuma and with Mvula, he was also very tolerant of of his young boys. So it probably does happen more than we think, but a lot of those interactions take place when we're not around. Now, with Hasana and Tingana, it's not too much of an issue. However, if this was Hukamuri, Hasana would be tickets. So he might go, there's a baby crocodile right where he's going. And maybe he would try eat that baby crocodile if he saw it. Now, leopards are solitary, Kyle. They do not form male coalitions at all, like lions. So they will always be by themselves normally. Now, leopards don't live in groups, Tadio, because they have evolved to be solitary hunters. So they're not as big as lions, so they don't need to eat as much, and they've evolved the speciality of taking meat up trees to avoid competition with hyenas and lions. So they've evolved to be solitary hunters. Unlike lions, they've evolved to be social hunters. I need to, that was Ali disappearing past. Now, he is hungry. Now, I'm not sure what Hassan is up to. Whether he's coming along behind us for him, doesn't look like it. I just want to wait to see where Tingana's going to go next, because a baby crocodile was in that pool just there. And leopards will definitely eat crocodiles, or baby crocs. Now, like the whole coalition story, Romit, I don't think Hasana would help Tingana fight another male. He would try get as far away from there as possible, would be my guess. Okay, he's on the move. We're going to have to do some ducking and diving to keep up with him in that area. So while we do that, let's send you back to Steve, who's got a bird with a big bill.
Yes, thank you very much, Brent. We have got a yellow-billed hornbill, or should I say southern yellow-billed hornbill, that is busy preening himself. And you can see the beak goes all the way back onto the preen gland, which is just there on the top of the rump. And then the oil gets coated on the beak itself, and then he rubs through all the feathers and is doing all of the cleaning, sort of oiling the feathers. The preen oil also has an antimicrobial sort of property to it, so it actually gives them a nice sort of cleaning. We use all sorts of antiseptic soaps and things like that. These birds are equipped with everything that they need. Sitting up there on a branch, doing it far away from the nest, because while it's preening, also all the parasites and lice and all that sort of stuff that is associated with these birds is going to fall off. And you don't want to be doing that in your nest or close to your chicks or where you roost, otherwise it is kind of pointless. So, and a bird like that absolutely loves fruit. And talking about fruit, just a few moments ago, we managed to find a beautiful tree. Beautiful, beautiful tree with, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a simple leaf. You can see that. And the top is very, very shiny, and the bottom is less so. Okay, but very easily identified by these fruits. And I've got a very nice ripe one. Oh, what a nana. Very nice fruit, and this the hornbills will absolutely love. Lots of flesh, and you see the seed inside is also quite big. We found some African green pigeons in that tree, and so what they'll do, birds like this, they'll probably eat half of it. The other around it, this might not go through the gullet. If it does go through, then the seed will be deposited further away, which is exactly what the plant wants. Something known as avicory. So for those of you out there who are interested in ecological terms, plants have designed mechanisms for distributing their fruit, their seeds, their pods, whatever it might be. And if it goes with a bird, it's avi. But they all end with what's the end? The end word cory, C-H-O-R-Y. So remember that, very, very easy. So avicory is birds. Now, I wonder if anyone can tell me what they think animals might be. Animals. There's lots of them. I will tell you in a moment, but let's see if anybody can guess what cory the animals will be. Okay, so while I wait for you to try and tell me what you think animal distribution of seeds will be, not AV, because that's birds, look at animals, we are going to go over to Taylor, who's still busy tracking.
We are, and it's quite exciting, don't you think? That, over my tracks from this morning are female leopard tracks with young cub tracks. Is it Tundi? I don't know. Rexon is moving into the area to give me a hand. I don't know who drove Central this morning, if anybody drove Central. Those are not leopard tracks. Those ones look like a monkey ran across the road. So we're just trying to figure out where she's gone. There were some birds alarming just off to the right of me. Now we've got hyena tracks. There have been quite a few go-away birds shiting about as well. So we're just taking our time, not to rush through here, but to make sure that we check and we listen to the bush and we try and follow these tracks very carefully. So I've marked the last ones that I had that were on Central. And then, I don't know, they just sort of disappear. Like, the road gets really hard in one section on Central. It becomes like gravel and you can't see a footprint or anything. But I'm very excited. I know you all will be too. But we first need to find the leopards, don't we, that have left those footprints behind. We don't find anything along here. We're going to go back the way we came. A quick squiz, still hyena tracks. And no, Peggy, I don't think it's too hot for the leopards or any of the predators, in fact, to catch a meal. They'll hunt whenever they can. Now, if this is tiny, regardless, a leopard with a young cub or a lion with a young cub or a young litter, they tend to hunt in different times than when most of the predators will. Obviously, we know lions and leopards and the rest of them all have better eyesight at night, so they have the advantage of catching their prey, which don't have as great of eyesight at night. And unfortunately, the predators aren't the greatest of hunters, so they try and use the darkness to their advantage. But when you are looking after some youngsters and you're moving them, sometimes an opportunity comes around during the day, and that's fine. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen lions and leopards hunting during the middle of the day. One day I watched a pride of lions hunt in like 40-degree weather or 39 degrees Celsius. It was exceptionally warm. Okay, so I don't have any more tracks here. Let me just go down to the dip to see. It's nice and sandy here. Bobby, I'm trying my best, I promise. I'm going to look as hard as I can. That's why if we don't find anything, I want to go back. And I kind of want Rexon to come to these last tracks because, well, he's got a tracker on his, and we can carry on and sort of scan, and he can be tracker out on foot and follow those tracks where they go. But it's both sets of tracks. You know where I lost them was quite, well, a little bit further along Central, where we had them the last time I actually saw them. On an Impala kill. I don't know. I don't know if these are tracks down here. They don't look like it. Right. Well, we'll keep searching around here. I'm going to go back to the last tracks now. And while we do that, I know Steve was looking at his own leopard tracks a little bit earlier.
Yes, unfortunately, those just were leopard tracks of an animal drinking probably a few days back. So nothing on the road, so to speak. But I wonder if any of you out there have come up with the solution for the animal distribution of seeds. For example, here we have the normal maruna kernel that passes through an elephant, and an elephant transports it very, very far away. And then what happens? Yes, it is competition away from the adults. If the adults had to drop all the seeds on the floor and all the babies grew underneath, they would be competing for light, space, soil, water, nutrients, energy, absolutely everything. So it's important to move it away. And so you can actually tell the fruiting status of an animal, of a plant, and its distribution by how old it potentially is. Obviously, some of them were distributed by wind, some are distributed by insects, some by fire, some by mammals, and some by birds, all through different stages in evolutionary history. One thing, and you've all seen us wearing these very interesting things on our shoes, is to protect against these awns on this congesta, this called 3-awn grass. These will stick in your socks and they are very uncomfortable. If you have a look at this, exactly that is the seed there. There's 2 of them here. Okay, there is the seed, very sharp, and the 3 awns. The sole purpose of this is to burrow into fur, and then once it's burrowed into fur, it's distributed further away from where it was found, and then the seed will drop off into the ground and germinate. So that is an animal distribution. Okay, I wonder if anybody knows what I mean when I say animal distribution. The cories, hey, the cories, yes. Ian, not Talacory, but think about it. We all know the name. Some people study it. Palakori. Palakori. No, it's not Palakori. We all know it. We all know it. Some of us go there to look at animals. Most people have probably been to one in their life. I wonder if you want to quickly comment. Nix, have you got the answer? Okay, so while we wait for you to give me an answer, we're going to go over to Brent, who has got some very flat leopards.
Well, Hassan is still back there. We decided to stick with Tingana because it looked like he was going to be more active, but he has popped himself down in the long grass, exactly, or very close to where we saw that baby crocodile. So we were just too early when we came looking here of him. So we might do a little trundle on to Hosanna, see what he's doing, while Tingana is flat. He's still sort of awake. Now, let's just move around a little bit, see if we can get a slightly better view. Okay, just quickly, FC, can you tell Taylor or Steve, whoever's close to cheetah cutline, that Hosanna sounds like he's heading for cheetah cutline? Not yet, but he's on his way in that direction if anyone's relatively close. So that answers what happened to Hosanna. And we'll stick with Tingana. Hosanna might be going to visit the elephant carcass again. He seems to like to do that in the afternoons. And Tingana, it looks like he's going to have a bit of a snooze. Okay, now, jaguars are well known to take crocodiles, as Sinak points out. But Sinak, yes, leopards will still attack crocodiles, even much bigger than the baby croc we saw. His head's getting heavy. But he is very hungry, so it might be worth hanging around with him for a while. I think we might have to play the patience game here a little bit. As he dozes for a little while. Now, leopards are incredibly adaptable in terms of their prey species, Rowan. So they will eat things smaller and larger than themselves, depending on what is available for them to catch. So they will catch animals as big as kudu or as small as a little mouse. They are incredibly adaptable. Now, very exciting that Taylor found little paw prints in the ground. little tracks. Now, we did hear from one of the Buffalo's Hook guys that they found a female with 2 cubs as well, not too far away from the boundary, and it was not Tundi. And it's quite a small female from up in the north who's not very relaxed. Kim says he's going to be watching that Ellie cam also now in case Hasana heads that way. It's still a while till he gets there, but he might turn up, you never know. Now, as I say, Tingana is not looking at his best. Adrian, I don't think it was a snake. I think that's just what happens to leopards when they get old. They're not as fast, not as quick. There's pressure from males like Hukamuri and Gajima, and at times just become tough, and they slowly but surely lose condition. As he walked right next to us, you could see the appearance of his shoulder blades being very close together. That's normal, Melissa. That's 100% normal, and when they move like that. He's very, very lazy at the moment. Now, as I said, we can't be sure that Tingana is Hasana's father. It's highly likely, but we cannot be 100% sure. Karula mated with Anderson, Gajima, Tingana, and those are the only males we know about that she mated with. So any one of those leopards could be the father. But female leopards do that to make sure all those leopards think that these cubs are theirs. And no, he will not actually leave any territory for Hasana. Then if he does, it's purely by accident because he's been killed by another leopard. Or he's died from a wound or something like that and has left a vacuum that Hasana might be able to stay in for a while. It's not intentional. It's not like females. And that is, of course, to stop inbreeding, because normally if a male leopard is coming towards the end of his reign, there will be a few females in that area that will carry his genetics, so he doesn't want his sons to start mating with them. So I'm going to be on the radio for a second. Dylan. Dill. Is he still heading north? You copied about Tingana as well here. Just in the Mulanini below the wall. Affirm. What's the vehicle lineup at Hasana? Okay, well guys, it sounds like Hasana's on the move a little bit further away from us, while Tingana's napping very, very deeply. Well, let's go have a look what Hasana's doing. Okay, while we go shoot to see what the little chief is up to, let's go across to Taylor to see what she's up to.
Well, we off-road, as you can see. We're just trying to check. There's so many birds shouting around here, but it could maybe be from, the eagles and things that are flying around. I do apologize if I don't look directly at you right now. I just want to make sure I don't drive onto any stumps or any trees and things that are going to give me thorns. I believe we've broken the internet now, and everyone's very excited, of course, about potentially finding Thandi and Cub. Yes, we're going to do our absolute best. That's the thing we want to find for you this afternoon. So bear with me on this mission. I'm very excited to have you on back of the vehicle helping. Rexon said he did see some more tracks. He says his tracks are very fresh. So I wonder if she's been moving now, and that's why all these birds have been shouting, and we're just sort of a couple of steps behind her. He says, though, you can only see tracks of her, of Thandi. The cub tracks now disappear, so maybe Thandi's on the hunt. If it is Thandi, again, we can't speculate. I can't tell just by looking at those tracks, but it's in her favorite area where we've seen her a number of different times before. Nikki, I'm hoping there's not going to be any gremlins here. I get through this little dip, so if you can just bear with me. We might lose picture for a couple of seconds, but I'll be back, I promise. I'll go through it quick. What? Can't believe it. That's amazing that there are no gremlins there. That's a horrible spot. A little bit of a disco at the end. Your hands in the air, wave them around. Right, we're safe now. Stopping myself from bleeding. I got hooked on a branch. We're going to go up a little bit further. Now, we're going to go check Vulture's nest. Because Rexon says the tracks go a little bit further south. Mongoose, off you go. Today we're not going to stop and look at you because we're trying to find Thandi. Sorry, little Mongoose. We'll see you later. So he's checking Nyala Road South. We're going to check the next road. I'm just trying to make sure that I listen to him if Rexon does call us in. Renee, the typical age that female leopards will sort of push their cubs away is normally, it depends. If it's a male, they tend to stay on a little bit longer. So maybe around 18 months or so. And females can use... Oh, let's go across to Brent very quickly.
Hasana has cornered a squirrel up in the tree. The squirrel is not even making a noise. It's so scared at the moment. It is staring down at Hasana. He's jumped as we arrived to try and grab that squirrel. There he is. And he's quite angry, as I say. He's been pestering the Tingana already this afternoon. So I'm hoping he makes another attempt at the squirrel, because he does have it absolutely sort of cut off from an escape route. Now, one of the first kills we ever actually saw him and Shongile make was of a tree squirrel. Isn't that absolutely incredible? Come on, squirrel. See, it's not even alarming. It's so scared. He's going to jump, Fim. He's going to try jump up again. That squirrel's just managed to get itself in one spot he can't get to. So it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches this next. There we go. My brother's just told me it went right underneath his foot. So I know, were you tricked by a squirrel already today? An Impala nearly ran over your head this morning. A squirrel under your foot this afternoon. There we go. Come on. Jump. See, you got to be quite careful about how he goes about this, because in his leap, if he doesn't get the right angle or whatnot, the squirrel might get a chance to escape. Now, the reason it's keeping quiet, just look at its tail, how fluffed up it is. It is very, very scared. And in this situation, it's not making a noise, it's not alarm calling, and it's trying not to draw any attention to itself. So you can see he's trying to sort of figure a plan to get up there. It's not the biggest tree. You can see he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Now, we have been talking... Oh, he's biting. Idiot. There's a sign of biting the branches. It might be a ploy to try and move the squirrel, or it could just be some frustration. So, he's sort of trying to figure out what to do next. Come on, Nasana, use your grey matter. Indeed, Puma, it would not be more than one bite. I'm not sure. And we're talking about how adaptable leopard diets are, and here shows you he's quite capable of taking down a juvenile kudu, but if there's an opportunity at an easy snack like a squirrel, he's not going to say no. Yes, indeed, guide monkey, from buffaloes to squirrels. And that just shows you how varied the leopard's diet is. I mean, I've even seen them eat flying ants quite regularly, and terrapins. He ate a terrapin yesterday even. And he is quite hungry, as we're saying, so the squirrel is in trouble. That poor squirrel, its heart must be pumping. Now, it does, Patrick, I agree, it does look like he's planning a route up the tree, but he doesn't seem to have quite figured out the angle yet. And knowing Hasana, he might just try bollock his way through the tree. So the last thing we know for sure he caught was 2 nights ago, and that was a scrub hare. So not another very small meal. It's decisions, because we've got 2 hungry leopards, but Hassan is generally more active at this time of the day. That's why we opted to leave Mr. T sleeping. There we go. He's going to come round. He might just give up. Now, what's happened is that squirrels kept still for so long, and the squirrel's sort of planning and hoping, is that if it keeps still for long enough, he's going to lose sight of it. He was wagging his tail like a dog there. What are you doing, Hasana? So the squirrel is trying to keep as still as possible. You can actually see how fast its heart's beating. It's trying to keep as still as possible, hoping that Hasana sort of forgets where it is and gives up and moves on. Which looks like is happening. Well done, squirrel. Well played. You won the statue game. At the moment, Hassan is still a little while from Cheetah Cut Line, but he might head in that direction. So I did tell Steve or Taylor, whoever was closest, to come to that area, but he's probably still a little way off. But if he does cross, I'll hand over to Steve and I'll go back to Tingana. So that's our plan for the afternoon. Yeah. So, okay, so that's our plan. I'm going to try keep up with him now, but this is quite a thick area. And we will just hang on. Okay, we're going to try keep moving. Sounds like Taylor and Steve have gremlins at the moment. Okay, let's send you across to Taylor while we follow Hasana.
Good luck, Brent. Good luck. Right, we just sat quietly just for a moment in the Mulwati to see if we could hear any birds telling us stories about what could be walking around in the bush. Now I need to turn around because I don't see any tracks and I don't hear any chirps. There's been a constant chatter coming, firstly starting from the east of us a little earlier and then slowly moving west away from us. And like I said, Rexon doesn't have any more cub tracks, so I think if it is Tundi, she stashed the cub. The cub tracks look about the size of a 5-6 month old leopard cub, so that's about right. So she could be here. I think what we might do, I don't know if we should check Battalier, if we should go up. I think let's just do Vulture's Nest one more time, and if we don't get lucky there, then we'll come up Battalier Road. The picture of the testiculars and things have just been moving just a little bit by little bit. So we're going to try and stay on it. Let's take out a 4x4. Which was quite exciting. I don't know how you all feel about that. I'm very excited of what we could potentially find. Where this leopard has come from. The tracks were coming from Drakensberg south. Maybe she was, I don't know where this. Who's chasing who? Hang on, we've got some little raptors flying about here. Let's see if we can get them. I don't know if they stopped in here, Craig. Did you see them fly out? I don't know where they went. It could have been anything, actually. Nah, they're gone. There are two little raptors, like little shikras or something like that. Or goshawks, I couldn't quite see. Okay, so Rexon is checking here. We're waiting for Rexon to let us know about Nyala Road South. I'd rather him drive that if he thinks that she's gone that way because he's got his tracker on his car. Hey, there's some weird squeaking noises. Where is that even coming from? It's like we've got a mouse under the car. Or a squirrel. That's literally what it sounds like. Okay, we'll just check carefully. Maybe we see a leopard track going over ours. No. Minamu, yes. Because you know that's your new nickname now. It's not just Mina, it's Minamu. I don't know, you love it. Yes, leopards do behave strangely after they've had cubs, but is it so strange? Normally what they do is they vocalize, they go out, they go on like this territorial march. Remember I told you about Little Bush, Mvula's mother, once when she lost one of her cubs, how, my goodness, she was angry, charging cars, like calling during the middle of the day, marching, scent marking. We still don't really know what happened to her cub, but she was very, very upset. And then that afternoon, we'd only found her with one of her cubs. So we knew something had happened in the morning. We still suspect that it was a troop of baboons that came through. And we know baboons do go after baboons do go after baboons, that too, but they also go after leopards. And Jamie had that terrifying experience where Tundi had Tumba and Tumba's late sister that were trying to evade a troop of baboons that came through. I can't tell you how many times I've seen baboon troops running out of dry riverbeds, chasing leopards away. It's pretty spectacular to see them. They run for their lives as well. So, and if they get hold of one of those cubs, they're going to take it out. They really will. So not only things like hyenas, other leopards or lions, or remember that story I told you about Lisbon that almost lost her cub to a tawny eagle? She was calling and calling her cub up on a termite mound. And the next minute this tawny eagle flew down and so close. If Lisbon had maybe been about 100 meters further, that eagle was going to catch that little leopard cub as it was responding to mom. It was lucky that she was so close by. So there's lots of threats out here for for leopards, for young lion cubs, for all the different animals. It's really, really tough. But yeah, they do act strangely. But it's not strange though. I'm sure they're distraught. They're upset by the fact that they've lost a cub. Now, a lot of predators respond to a variety of sounds, typically animals distressing, and even those of disputes amongst other predators they sometimes will go into. So yes, Ron, if a lion hears an argument, look, just for example, they're definitely going to go in and investigate. Look at what happened with us in Kuchava as she was contact calling for a cub. And then we also had that big kudu alarming and telling everybody that there's something here. Remember, the animals speak a language that we don't understand. They can understand. They've got different calls for leopards. And I'm pretty sure a lion knows when a kudu is shouting leopard or when it's shouting for another lion. And that's what drew, I think, the combination of the contact calling and then the kudu barking and perhaps the smell of rotting flesh lured the Styx pride in and then chased out Kuchava, who then ran to try and make sure her cub was okay, and then ended up leaving her cub alone, not to draw too much attention to it, and went and stood off to the side. Okay, so I think we're gonna go down Central a bit further now. Maybe we'll go on to Twin Dams Road and then check the other side of that drainage, and then come back through Spaghetti Junction and go up Battalier Road. And hopefully between Rexon and I we'll be able to find whoever is walking around here. Otherwise, you know what, there's always tomorrow morning. We can start again. Sometimes it does take us a little bit longer to find something. Anyways, I'm going to send you back to Brent, who's having all the leopard luck today.
Well, we're just waiting for the leopard to pop out. So we've popped around. He's heading in this direction, so he might head on to Juma at this rate currently. But there's a vehicle with him. So what I'm doing is I'm just popping up ahead, seeing if there's any potential prey species ahead of him. So far, not much. But he should be popping out in the next couple of minutes. Well, we don't want him to head west. We want him to head straight north towards Leadwood Road. There we go. VM, the Superman, has found him. No, we've lost him again. So it's always a bit nerve-wracking with the leopards in this area because we are right on the boundary. Where's he gone? He's behind. That's the last place we saw him, was behind that bush. There he is. Well done, VM. Now, Renee, no, he wouldn't still be with Karula if she was still alive. Karula would try avoid him at all costs, but he would definitely try steal any meat or kills he could from her. Where are you off to, boyo? Isn't that beautiful in the long grass? It's absolutely stunning. Now we just need the sun to break through the cloud to illuminate him. There's the remove him. Looks like he's heading a little bit more east. We're having an argument about who should go in front. So, hang on, let's just move on to the road a bit. There he is. And he's coming straight towards us. Or he might duck off into the bush here. Now there's that big herd of Impala that's not too far away. But he is moving steadily away from them at the moment. Okay, I'm going to try to keep up with him. Hopefully he hasn't going to torture it. Okay, well, we decided to stick it out with Hasana, so Steve has taken over at Tingana.
Yes, we have. Thanks very much, Brent, for showing us where it is. We've come all the way over to Chitwa, as the vehicle I've been using has been having some technical issues down in Chitwa. This is my first time back down here in quite a few days, but it seems like, if you can see the picture and you can hear me speaking, that the tech geniuses have managed to fix whatever problems the gremlins were causing in the system. And here he is, the old chief, Tingana. I haven't seen him in some time, and he does seem to have lost a fair amount of condition since I last saw him. Cheetah cat, to answer your question, I think male leopards start developing a dewlap around 2.5 to 3, and then as they get bigger, it just seems to form more in the size of the animal. So from about 4, 5, it's definitely properly developed, and I think, Tingana's about 12 now, hey, Ferg? So he's about as old as male leopards get. And we were just discussing with Ferg, it seems like he's given up his territorial sort of movements, and he's just jumping between easy sources of food. As Brent has seen him, I think, this morning or last night, Taylor had him on the elephant carcass, and then he jumped across the road again and then back again. There doesn't seem to be any sort of pattern to his movement, apart from just hanging around permanent water where potentially the prey is easier. But it is my first time seeing him since being back from Kenya, so I wouldn't really know too much. When you find male leopard tracks in the road, I know Tristan and all these other guys will tell you who they are. I would not ever assume to know from the track who it is, unless there's a cub following. Then you've got a little bit more of an idea. But he is still looking very beautiful. Oh. Lynn, I think most leopards are able to tell each other apart by smell, and then there's also probably some sort of cue with regards to what they look like, a visual sort of cue, but I'm not sure exactly how that works and to what depth or level that works. I'm pretty sure males and females can sort of pick each other up with regards to what they smell like. It's all about pheromones, testosterone. All that sort of stuff will sort of be overflowing in certain leopards, more so than in others. And their sense of smell is very, very keen. So is their hearing. Not that they can hear or hear anything specific about another leopard, but I reckon there might be some visual cues that make them know. But I know that if you ever tried to show a cat its own image in the mirror, a domestic cat, they don't seem to be too concerned with it because they can't smell another cat. So there's no other cat in the room. Dogs, on the other hand, will look at themselves in the mirror and go absolutely ballistic because they are also very, very sort of visual. Not that they aren't smell, but they are very visual dogs. And if you haven't tried it before, try it with your cat. It kind of looks straight past itself. It doesn't see it there at all. I used to do that quite often with my cat, trying to figure out why it didn't recognize itself. But he is indeed a flat cat this afternoon. So I haven't heard any comments back about if anybody knows about the difference or the cories I was talking about. So I'm going to give you the answer for the animal one, and it's very easy. You're all going to kick yourself when you hear how easy it is. It is called zoo cory. How easy was that? Zoo cory. Birds are avicory. And if you come back to the front here, Ferg, if you won't mind, I have of things. Here we've got these samples here. 2 different bush willow species. People got it right, Nix. Thanks very much. Kathy, Ian, and Vicky, you got it correct. Very, very proud of you there. So now the next one is going to be wind. So we've got this grass here. It's called Natal redtop. And you saw how everything kind of blew away. The russet and the red bush willow, they stay on the tree for months and months and months, and only when the dry conditions prevail and the grass seems to disappear, that these will tend to jump away from here quickly, and you can come back to us soon. Let's go back to Brent.
Well, he's decided to take a little rest on his way through. So he's giving himself a bit of a preen. He's had a busy day. Now, when cats are hungry, G-Man, even the tiniest bit of sustenance can keep them going for that little bit longer. So, yes, the squirrel would probably be worth the effort, but not yet. He's not starving yet, but he's also just likes to chase things, I think. It's in his instinct, he likes to chase things. Well, we're going to sit here patiently to see where our little chief heads to next. In the meantime, let's find out how Taylor's tracking of Tundi is going.
Rex and I are coming up empty-handed. So I think what we're going to do now is just check some of the roads we have already checked. So I was going to do Battalier Road, but now I'm thinking I might go back onto Inyala Road south or up it, because it's getting to that time of the day. Maybe she's going to come out. I don't know if maybe she has a kill already. Who knows what's going on? So Rex and I are just trying to figure that out, and the tracks disappear onto sections of the road where we can't really see where anything has happened, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all, so we're going to give it a bash. So we'll go up here, and then we'll go back to where I had the last set of cub tracks as well. We'll do that. And it's almost exactly where she left the cub the last time we were walking around on foot. Anyways, I seem to be having some nasty gremlins, so off you go back to Mr. Hosanna and, well, Mr. Leo Smith.
Well, he just passed right next to VM behind the vehicle. He's continuing to head east. He's still hungry, still on the hunt. Okay, let's move around. Look at that camouflage through that fallen combretum. You can just see his white tail. Okay, let's go through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot up ahead. We're going to get able to get ducked through there, VM. What do you think? Next one. There's a stump there. Right. There's a stump under there. Let's go under this one. So I have to just pop down through here. He's taking us through quite a broken block. The eddies have been feeding here quite a lot. Here he is. Just going to try and maneuver my way around. Alright, hold on. He's just stopped now, but unfortunately he is heading towards Torchwood. That's not good. We were hoping he was going to go into Juma, not Torchwood. He might just wander down the main road. You never know with our Hosana. Now, often if he goes into Torchwood around here, he pops out on Cheetah Cutline. He could just change his mind, head down towards Chitwa again. Isn't that stunning? Oh yeah. There we go. Let's just pop through here. There's a nice little gap. Hang on. Opa! Unfortunately, this is the boundary. Hold on, VMP. Oh, we just slipped there a bit. Come on, climb, car. Doesn't want to climb today. I was trying to get into position before Hasana climbed, because it looked like he was going to do that, but we couldn't just get there. VMP, I'm going to make it straight for you. Sorry. Are you happy? I'm going to fall out of the car at this angle, but we'll wait for a little bit. Very pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it's very difficult to judge how big a male leopard will eventually end up, but Magic Dragon, I don't think he's going to be as big as Anderson, but probably a similar size to sort of Tingana or Hukamuri. But I don't think he is going to be an absolute monster like Anderson or Campan. Isn't that beautiful? And here we have a very, very sort of postcard picturesque leopard pose for you. There's this fallen marula tree, and he has found a lovely spot to just lie down on. He reminds me a lot of Quarantine at about the same age, just in his behavior and demeanor. But let's go see how Steve's doing. He seems to have staved off the gremlins.
Yes, thanks. Sorry about that, folks. The gremlins are in and out of jigger this afternoon, but I was talking about this grass and these seed pods, and both of them are, when we talk about Kori, what would you think if they are related to movement by wind? So first of all, these pods will fall off the tree late in the season when all the grass is gone, and the wind will blow it like a wheel along the ground until it finds somewhere nice away from the parent plant, and then with the right adequate rains will germinate. And the grass on the right, the Natal redtop, is a pioneer species, and they also will fall down and blow into exposed areas and open areas by wind. So let's see if any of you out there can comment, hashtag Safari Live, what you think the wind Corey would be. Interesting. We are still with a very flat Tingana, so that's why we thought we'd continue doing our story. Somewhere there he is. He is not too bothered. Michelle, most definitely he could potentially get in a conflict with another male leopard and be killed. But essentially, if a male starts becoming less dominant, he won't get into confrontations. So a leopard will only fight another leopard if they both feel they are up to the challenge, and they'll both go for it. But if one feels the other one is bigger, maybe the growl is deeper or the dewlap is bigger or whatever it might be, the other one looks in more physical condition, the smaller of the two or the older of the two or the weaker of the two will move off. Well, while we stay with our flat cat, let's go to the little chief.
Well, he's up and down the tree and moving east down Gowrie Main for the moment. And if he crosses to the left, he's going to disappear. But we will try to keep up with him. And it looks like he's going to leave us. Let me see if there are any Torchwood vehicles around quickly. Stations Hosanna crossing into Torchwood, about 150 meters to the east of Chilakatlan. And it sounds like Rex is on his way. So I'll just wait till Rexon gets here. Let's see if we can still keep a view of him as he walks further. He could very easily cut west again and disappear towards Juma again. Okay. Okay, well, as we watch his bottom disappear into the north, I'm going to just hang on until Rexon gets here, and in the meantime, we're going to send you across to Taylor.
Yeah. Not having much luck, I'm afraid. We're going to give it one last little look around. We'll try to get a decent view of those cub tracks so you can all have a proper look, and that you can believe me that there was definitely a cub walking with this leopardess. And if we don't find anything, we'll probably move out and then try again in the morning, because it is going to get dark. If we find it, the sighting is going to become a negative lock, and so we can come back here and try again in the morning as well. I won't. I'll be sleeping. Well, I'll try to sleep. No, I just sat on a thorn. So the leopard tracks are still going down here, but these look like the adult ones. Now, Jefford, you're wondering if we lost Tlalamba. We don't know. We have no idea, but there was a big fight between Tundi and Shidulu, which is a young female leopard that we've been seeing for the last, since I've been working here, since 2016 at least. Probably been seeing her before that as well. Her mother is from Londolozi, so it's not too far away. And they've had a big fight. And then she went around, she was very angry, walking around, so calling, scent marking. So we thought maybe she had lost the cub, but we didn't know for certain. We never knew for certain, but her behavior sort of pointed in that direction, if you will. But now I've picked up in Tandi's favorite area. of cub tracks and female leopard tracks, and they were over the top of my vehicle tracks. I'm just trying to see. Rexon may have actually come over and driven over my tracks now too, because I can't see where I circle. There's me making marks, but I circled a nice one. Might be a little bit further down this way. Let me just check for you nicely on the road. Na 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 na. Mama, where are the little leopard feet? There we go. I don't know where. I think my circling may have been driven over, unfortunately. Liz, the question there was, can female leopards have cubs from males, different males in the area? Well, I know they'd be sired by one male, the dominant male within that area, unless this male is sneaky and, makes his way in. But unless he's as big as strong as the dominant male, the female's probably not going to want to have anything to do with him. It's genetically programmed that they have the biggest and the strongest male that they will mate with. No, sadly, my tracks that we all had here have all been driven over now. There are lots of landowners that are driving around, but you're just going to have to take my word on it. We're a bit far away when I was trying to show you during the school drive. So it'll be the dominant male. So that's why it's such a problem at the moment, is because Hukumuri is new and is not the father of Tlalamba. And that's why she's being so careful and wanting to hide her cub away. But now I don't have any proper tracks to show you, I'm afraid. I just want to check here, because this is where we kind of lost the cub tracks. It was in this area towards the central junction. So the little one might still be around. Like I said, because then we're only just starting to see mom's tracks at one point. There's many places this little leopard could hide, though, and lots of what am I trying to say? Wattles that are growing at an angle that will form some nice cover. Lots and lots of shrubs all densely packed together with one another. It's definitely in this area. Should we go check that spot where she had a kill last? This is just, for fun. Now, surely one of the reasons why I haven't been walking too much here, I've been doing little loops here and there, is because, yes, I am worried that Tandi's going to charge me. She's been beaten up in a fight. We don't know how badly. And so she's going to be on edge anyways, and she could have a cub with her. So I don't really want to spend much time out of the car, because I think I'm putting myself in danger by doing something like that. I know that she's going to be upset. This is where she had a kill the last time I think it was when the last time I saw Tandi in the cub, was it? No, the last time I saw them, that was at JC Brink Pan in Chitwa. But she was once in a kill. I had a kill here in Impala. But so I'm going to try and stay in the car as much as I can, and just because I don't want to get myself into a bit of an accident. Right. Anyways, we're going to keep. Well, no, I think we might move out of this area now. Let it be. Call it quits for tonight, because the sun's about to go down and it's going to get dark. We'll try again tomorrow morning. Brent will be very excited to come here, and Tristan. And I'm going to send you to Steve, who is still sitting with Tingana, who's perhaps still having a snooze.
Yes, thanks very much, Taylor. I hope you managed to find her on your way home. Maybe she'll just pop out on the road, as she so often does. It would be so marvelous to be able to see that little youngster, the little bundle of joy I have still not seen in ages. I can't wait to see how big she has gotten. And here is the father. He's the dad. There we go. He's been lying flat the entire time, folks, so I think you can hear me talking about him. Raise the head. Sorry about the gremlins, folks. We are in a river depression behind the dam, which probably doesn't make matters easier. Come on, Tingana, say hello to the camera. I haven't even seen your face properly yet. He is alert. I think he's quite hungry. And he's in a very good position. He's lying low. He's in the depression, as I said, behind the dam. Lots of animals move through here. This is perfect leopard stalking habitat. And anything could come down to these little puddles and ponds to drink. And it's also rather cool down here as well. It's actually quite humid. And he's got a very nice, comfortable patch of grass to lie on. Is he going to smile at the camera, Ferg? Off he dozes again. Take care. I don't know if it ever stops growing. I think it must do. The dewlap must stop growing, but I mean, I honestly don't know the answer to that. You basically get male leopards in their prime who have an enormous dewlap, and as they start sort of getting older, the dewlap is still there. It's almost, I would say, like muscles in grown men, you know, like they can be really big when they're fit and in their prime, and if they start to get a little bit older, they just start to get a little bit more saggy. So the dewlap will remain. It just might not look as pronounced, I suppose, but I'm really not too sure. It's too much for him. This is too much for him this day. He's hiding now. Okay, very good. We're going to go over to Taylor, who's got the tracks of that little one.
Right, I just want to show you very, very quickly these little tracks, these little leopard tracks. Yeah, they're so small. Where's a nice piece of grass? That one will do. So let me do, how about this one, correct? Because this is probably, it's so hard with the light. We'll go around it. There's two tracks here, but we'll use this one. So here's the pad of the foot. 1, 2, 3. There are the toes, as you can see. And look how tiny they are. They're so small in comparison. So if it is Thandi and Hlalamba, Thandi's tracks would be a little bit longer. They're splayed out. I think this little cat was walking quite quickly, maybe even running after mum. But Thandi's tracks would be a little bit wider than this and a little bit longer as well. But they are so small, so delicate. And then from what we had earlier, Thandi was walking, or not Thandi, we don't know if it was Thandi. The other leopard was walking on the other side of the road. But Brent is also going to come and bumble around here. Maybe he has some luck, but again, we're limited. It's a race against the sun. This cub is still too young to be viewed at night. I normally only start viewing them at night after about 6 months old. Anyways, I think we're gonna move out of the area. Like I said, we'll try again tomorrow and see how it goes. But speaking of Brent, it seems as though he's on his way back to Juma.
Hello, welcome back. You know, I think Vim and I have got some leopard dust on us this afternoon, so we're just going to try to give T a hand, have a quick scratch. We've got Steve with Tingana. Hassan has gone into Torchwood Rex and him, so if he does cross back down towards Juma, so I think might as well, you know. Be really great if Hlalamba is still alive, and if that, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this stuff, but I'll be incredibly impressed if Thandi manages to raise that cub to adulthood with the turmoil that is happening with the males at the moment. Go ahead, T. Taylor's talking to me. Copy, thanks T. I'm going to check Nyala Road South, maybe just stop next to the pan, have a little listen, see if we can hear anything. So, often at this time of the day, the leopards are on the move. And it's a good plan. Sorry, I was just listening to Rex in there. He's not coming. I thought Sana might be coming back. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go, and it's such a beautiful time of the day to just sit and take a moment and listen to the birds and the bugs and hope to hear the alarm call from a Nyala or a kudu, or the of an Impala, or the of a squirrel. Yes, I think the squirrel is probably the most irritating, but I'm just working out from where Taylor had the tracks and she was heading west. The best place for water is going to be here on Inyala Road South. There are a few pans, but I think they would have dried up off Battalier Road. But if the tracks are heading south from there, heading northwest from there, this is a good spot to check for water. So those tracks seem like they were quite early in the day, so she might have been lying down, and it says we're at the right time of the day for leopards to be up and on the move. Aha! Well, Eloise, I would say it is possible that leopards could possibly reject their cubs, but it is unusual, but it could definitely happen. Okay, well, we've got some watchmen here for us. So the water's here that we were coming to. Taylor thinks she went into this block around here, which is quite a difficult block, but we now know we've got a nice little family of Inyala, so if she does make an appearance, this lot should start sparking their heads off. So when you're tracking, I mean, even when you're trying to find a leopard and stuff like that, it's always good to know where groups of Inyala are particularly. Impala can be a little bit suspect sometimes, and they tend to maybe get it wrong occasionally, where there is the Inyala are normally spot on. Okay, let's keep moving on and see if we can add 2 more leopards to our leopard tally for the day. In the meantime, let's go see how Tingana is doing.
Well, Tingana has not done too much. I don't think my biology lesson was the most exciting topic he's ever heard of. Quite rightly, I think it put him to sleep. Poor fellow. Just catching up on Twitter and seeing the photos from earlier. Marvelous, the screenshots you've managed to send through of the two of them together. I think it is quite remarkable how they do what they do, and goes back to my interview in November of last year, from when Tingana, we had him just up the road from where we are now, and Hosanna came into the sighting and probably did something quite similar, I suppose, to today. So I think it is rather remarkable that we are able to see this on such a regular occurrence. I mean, for me it was the first time ever, and now it just seems to be sort of everyday sort of norm. Paula, my favorite leopard is, in fact, Hosanna. And when we were on our way down here, we passed Brent, and I managed to get a very quick glimpse of the beautiful little prince, little chief, as he crossed the road. So he gave me a quick little hello, and then we came down here. We're now with Papa Bear, who is very relaxed in the grass. But Hosanna definitely is my favorite. He is the most inquisitive I've ever experienced. And there is an Impala just on the other side of the river here. I don't think he's seen Hosanna. Tingana is just moving through there. I saw the horns. There you can just see his back, Ferg. That is him there. That's his back if you just deepen that focus. You'd see the back of the Impala. He has no idea, but neither does Tingana. Neither one are aware of each other. And that is what can be quite helpful down in these little sort of depressions for leopards, is because there's not too much wind. So the wind doesn't really pick up, so it won't really give the Impala any form of sort of notice that the leopard is here. But he is on the other side of a little puddle here. But like some of the warthogs in Djuma and in Chitwa, we know they do subscribe to Safari Live, and they do know when they see a vehicle like this one that we're probably looking at a leopard. So that Impala is looking at us quite closely going, what are you doing there, sir? Wants to know if he can come get an autograph from Ferg and myself. Most certainly you can. You just have to wade through this little depression and then get past a hungry cat. I'm glad to give you an autograph. Mina, I wonder if humidity does affect predator behavior. I'm not sure if it does. I mean, just there's no wind down here, so the lack of wind is definitely something that will affect the chances of success, because it's not pushing the wind towards him. If he doesn't hear the animal, then he won't see it. He won't be able to find it if he can't smell it either. So that is important. That is important sort of stuff, you know. Like humidity, it just makes it a little bit more uncomfortable, I suppose, for the animals to be moving around. But I don't think there's any direct sort of link between how it affects any of the hunting. Okay, I believe there might be some answers out there about my wind, Corey. There's some very interesting answers there. None of them are correct, I'm afraid. If you can just give me the names again, please, Nix. It's very easy. Everyone will remember it. Fiona Annamakori is not correct. Brenda, I'm sorry, it is not right. Eloise, you give quite a good guess there. You say vent, but it's not vent, Corey. It is another word that everyone is very familiar with. We fly in them. I wonder if that's enough of a clue for you to understand. We fly in them. Hey, Nix has called it out. I'm sure the clue is good enough for you all to understand. So it is. Ferg has said helicopter Corey, and that is not correct, Ferg. Not helicopter Corey. Something else we might fly in. Not a drone either, Ferg. Not a drone either. Ferg's playing the game too, folks, just so that you know. And we do have another vehicle who's come in to see Hosana. Yeah, he's flat, Sips. Flat. So we're just saying hello to one of the vehicles there. Laura Moore, if you have to shorten the word aeroplane and then put in the word Corey, that will explain it very clearly. Patrick, avio Corey is too much related to a bird. So, too much related to a bird. So, jet. I don't know, albeit how many jets you've flown in your life, but most people fly in aeroplanes. So, ladies and gentlemen, dung dung dung, the answer is aero Corey. How easy is that to remember? So now I have one more for you for the day. We're going to leave it after we come back. You can answer it, but it is probably the easiest one to remember, and it is to do with water. I wonder what transfer with water would be. I wonder if anybody has an answer for that. Some wonderful ecology terms. I'll be using some more of them over the next few days, and it is not aquacory, but think about it. Think about it. It is quite straightforward. And a nice ecological term to describe how these things have evolved and where they occur. Are they next to a river? And obviously it's all about distribution. You want to get your seeds away from where you are. You want them to either go underground, you want them to move down the river, you want them to blow away in the wind, you want an animal to eat them and move away. So it also gives the age of a lot of species with regards to when they evolved their distributions and how old they are on sort of a geological scale with regards to when all of these organisms came in. Obviously, wind corey, plants that have a wind corey are generally probably older type of plants. So a lot of grasses are wind because there was no distribution very long ago with any sort of animal. Okay, so we're going to wait here and see if this impala comes closer. Okay, there's some answers coming through. Let's hear them, Nix. Hey, lots of people have got it correct. Hydro, Corey, fantastic. Jamie, Dorez, Arlo, Monique, Carla B. Nasit, quite a few of you have got it right. Very, very well done. Seeing as you got that right, before we go away, I'll drop one more in it for you when you come back to me next time before I leg to Brett. What happens if they do it on their own? Absolutely no other mechanism, just themselves. Let's go over to Brent Leo Smith.
Hi, Taylor, I'm talking to Taylor. So, yes, mate. Do you confirm you said last tracks looked like they were heading west? We're just getting an update on what the tracks are going. Okay, copy. Thanks very much, T. Oh, no, everyone wants to talk to me. Standing by, Rex. So this could be about Hosanna. Sorry, go again. Okay, it's more north. Okay, copy. So you think I should check towards Quarry Pan? Perfect. Copy, thanks, Rex. So Rex said he walked, his tracker walked on the tracks, and they actually changed from west and came northeast, and from Quarry Pan went straight north. So, oof, that's a nasty block. But we can go have a little listen around there. As I say, at this time of the day, your ears are the most important part when it comes to finding and tracking leopard. Now, we're going to sit at Nyala Road South at the mud wallows there, but there was just too many in Nyala, and didn't seem like she was heading in that direction. Oh, it's just such a beautiful evening at the moment. It's so wonderful out here. Paula, the road names were chosen a long time ago, before our time, so certain roads will be named after certain things. So Quarry Pan Road, which is where we're heading. Well, actually, start with the road we're heading on, which is Drakensberg, and that's because, well, almost every year, except for where we are right now, there's some trees in the way, you have a good view of the Drakensberg Mountains in the distance. So this whole road that runs along the east on the the eastern side of the crest here gives you a view, if you're going the opposite direction to what we're doing, towards the Drakensberg Mountains. Quarry Pan Road is because you'll see as we come around the corner there's quite a few quarries around that area, which is a type of tree. Cheetah Cutline, I'm assuming someone saw a cheetah on it a very long time ago. Aubrey's Road is named after Aubrey, who's the guide here. Buffelshoek Dam, east and west. Buffelshoek east and west. It's pretty self-explanatory. Buffelshoek from Buffelshoek Dam, Buffelshoek Boundary, Gowrie Main, which is just from the Gowrie Gate. I remember correctly. I'm just trying to think of any other roads. Hyena Road, might have been a hyena den on it at some point. Rebecca and Zoe's are named after Yuri and Pippa's daughter, Rebecca and Zoe. Gallagher Shortcut was the shortcut to get to Gallagher Camp in the old days. So yes, all the roads have a meaning, but a lot of them were named long before our time. So I'm going to shoot up to the north quickly, where Rex thinks there's tracks going. I'll try to give you one last view, or actually we're going to send you quickly from a Quarry Pan sunset to a Treehouse Dam sunset.
Look at what we've got. If only we were here 5 minutes earlier, it would have been unbelievable. I think it would have also looked like Treehouse Dam was on fire, but stunning nonetheless, don't you think? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I think we should take a moment here just to enjoy all the birds, because there are quite a few of them chattering in the distance. This is also the time of the night that we could hear leopards soaring, lions roaring, hyenas whooping. It's getting nice and cool. There's not a breath of wind at the moment. It's a beautiful, still evening. Oh, there's some oxpeckers that have just come down for a drink. Just up top over there. There we go. There's a whole group of them. 5 of them. Some adults, 2 adults and 3 juveniles by the looks of it. Red-billed oxpeckers. Obviously leaving their kudu or buffalo or rhino or whatever animal they've been sitting on for the day. Going to have one last drink before they all go home. No bathing for them tonight though. Just a quick little drink, and then there was also a sandpiper actually just there. In fact, I think it was a bottom left corner. There we go. It was a little sand. No? Where did it go? It was walking around there. Did it also fly away? That was a rock. Craig, here we go. We're even now. You got the elephant dung earlier. I got the rock. There was a little sandpiper moving around the edge of the water. Oh. There. I promise. There it is. In the corner. Left, where my finger was. Yeah, there we go. Center of your screen. Hello. There it is. That's the one I was actually talking about. It's stretching its wing, its leg, and off it goes, feeding into that. No blacksmith lapwings, no little 3-banded plover. This little sandpiper will enjoy the dam in peace and quiet, except for the oxpeckers that are making a noise now. There are loads of them flying around. I don't know where they're going to go and roost for the evening, but they're not going to stay on those animals for the entire night. How gorgeous. What a spectacular way to end the day. But it clouds. Actually made for the most perfect sunset this evening. It might even get a little bit better. Okay, but that's all that's here for the moment, so we shall get on the go. I'm trying to think what we're going to do now. Let's head west. Let's follow the sunset. Let's just drive straight into it this evening and see where we go. We'll probably end up hitting a fence line, unfortunately. We'll have a little sneak around here. Now, unfortunately, the Nkuhuma Pride crossed off yesterday morning, in fact, so Paul, no lions in the area that we're aware of, but that, of course, can change at any minute, and it's why this morning on the Sunrise Safari, I went around and checked Triple M and Gowrie Main to see if there were any lions that crossed back in, and perhaps that's something that we'll do this afternoon. Now, is go on to Shibamu and then jump out and check Gowrie Main all the way down to Triple M. It's that time of the night where the animals are going to start moving. I didn't hear if the Nkuhumas made a kill or not. If they didn't make a kill, they'll probably get going. Where they'll go, I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, it's fine. Do you know what? It's okay. We'll just have a look at this leopard. You know what I'm going to do, Craig? I'm actually going to move off the road slightly. Nikki says, how do I always do it? Hukumuri. Hello, boy. It is Hukumuri too. I'm totally going to sneak a little video as he walks past. Tristan's favorite, with his tongue sticking out. Hello, big boy. This is so cool. I'm so happy. I'm going to take a video of him walking past because I don't have a walk by from Hukumuri. I've got of all the other male leopards. Can you see me? How close he is. Hi, big boy. I think he's going to go and, he's a little bit nervous as we move. But that's okay. Let's go. He's going to go drink. I bet he's going to go and drink. Okay, right. Leopard trio this evening. Complete. I'm going to call this sighting in. We're going to follow this beautiful cat to see if he goes and has a drink. Maybe get some reflection shots. Off you go to Steve with Mr. T.
How fantastic is that, ladies and gentlemen? A serious trifecta on the cats this afternoon. Brent with Tingana and Hosana, and me now with Tingana, and then Brent continue with the Hosana, and now Hukumuri. It is a male-dominated leopard drive. Incredible, incredible, incredible. What more could we bump into today? I heard the update in my earpiece. Taylor just bumped into a leopard. I just had a thought that maybe she just bumped into Tundi and the cub. But not to be, not to be. Possibly tomorrow or the next day, folk. We're very hoping. I've got high hopes. I'm hoping everything's okay there. Brent and Tristan are enjoying a little bit of the drama behind it all. That Impala, though, seems to have tippy-toed past Tingana without even him raising his head. So that was rather disappointing. After our segment yesterday with that new young male, him nearly getting that young warthog, that was marvellous. I suppose to get 2 leopard chases in 24 hours is asking a bit much, isn't it, Ferg? Considering I haven't seen one in ages, to see 2 in 24 hours would just be ridiculous, I suppose. But that is what the Sabi Sands provides, and it is one of the reasons why we enjoy spending so much time out here with these lovely cats. First Lady, I think he is strong enough and in good enough condition to hunt a big impala. Definitely. I'm not saying that the big impala won't injure him in any way, but I think he's still very, very, very adept at it. I mean, Mvula was still hunting impala last time we saw him in January, and he was looking in far worse condition than Tingana is looking now. I haven't actually really even seen Tingana properly. I mean, I'm looking at his head and his shoulders. I haven't quite seen his hips. That is normally where a leopard starts losing condition, is in the hips. His fur still looks quite good. He doesn't seem to have any mange. That's another element of condition being lost. The fur still looks relatively good all around the head and neck. It's just kind of going a little bit sort of paler or a little bit more washed compared to that of the younger leopards that we're seeing at the moment with their beautiful gold and clear colors. Those beautiful spots. He's still a magnificent specimen. I wouldn't write him off yet. I just think he's not going to do as much of his territorial defense as he's been doing, and rather just do what Mvula has been doing and just moving around and feeding without too much competition. Okay, so Taylor seems to have repositioned to see that beautiful Hukumuri again. So let's go over to her for some splendid shots.
Oh, he's a beautiful cat, eh? He really, really is. Let's try have a look at him and see as he walks towards us, as he sticks his tongue out at all of you to see if he's got any more scratches. No, still just that one above his right eye, which is healing quite nicely. Scarring up. We still don't know if he's going to go and drink or not. Hello, beautiful boy. You're panting quite a bit, aren't you? Oh, he's such a cool cat. I've never seen a leopard like him before with eyes like his. And his whole mannerism is just so cool. Beautiful rosettes too. Very dark spots on his legs. Here he comes, a little big boy. I'm not afraid of the cars at all. Sometimes he does a little trot past, but he's normally quite cool. Normally quite good. Are you thirsty, my boy? Why don't you come down and have a drink at Treehouse Dab? He's on the lookout. He stops and he listens. Could be listening for other leopards. Could be listening for potential prey. This is awesome. He's listening to some bird. Now, as we've noticed, no, he's not going to drink water. He's going to go across the dam wall. Craig, we're going to do sneaky and go around, I think. Yeah. Okay, so he's gonna go over the damn wall. I don't want to tail behind him, so we're gonna do this very quickly. Go around. Whee, roller coaster. Woo! Gonna have all the fun. That's a cheeky little shortcut, that one, let me tell you. I'm so glad we got a leopard. I was so sad after this morning's game drive. We didn't see much at all. Now, Minamu, I'm pretty sure that depending on the region, the pattern of a leopard may change slightly, the coloration. We see that in lots of different animals. You see that in giraffe. He's just pausing on the damn wall. I noticed that giraffe down on the southeast coast of where I'm originally from. The southern giraffe is so much lighter than the giraffe up here. Only when I started working at the Sabi Sand and, obviously learning about these different things, I realized how dark in color the males would go. And we know that's because of testosterone, but the males in the Eastern Cape don't ever get that dark, ever. And we saw really, really old bulls too. So yes, it will vary slightly. Whether the untrained eye will notice it or not, I'm not so sure. The Sabi Sand and the leopards in the Lower Zambezi don't seem to be too different in terms of their coloration. Not that I didn't actually notice anything. Walking up on the damn wall again. Oh, big yawn. He's a cool cat. Hey? You're really lucky today. You've seen all the leopards. But it is a bit worrying, seen as though Tundi's potentially back on the property. Marking again on the damn wall. You can hear the laughing doves behind me. I don't think this is a laughing matter at all. Now, I'm trying to think how many times I've actually seen hukumuri. It hasn't been that many. I think I can still count it on one hand. And Ravinda, my first thoughts of hukumuri when I saw him, what was my first sighting of him again? It was him dragging that carcass around near Vuyatela Dam. Oh, are you going to go and have a drink? No, you're just sneaking. You're taking your shortcut yourself, aren't you? And, well, that look, at first I was a bit nervous when I saw him staring at me. I was like, hey, okay, this is a little bit nerve-wracking, but okay, we'll go with it. And he stood and he just looked at you for ages, and he does that when you first see him. He's smelling something there. Hosana likes it around here too. So impressed. I was very impressed by him. Definitely picking up the scent of, I don't know what though. Maybe he's going to roll in something. Are you licking it now? Whatever is on the ground. What's he doing? He's going to flim and grimace. No, he didn't. Now he's salivating quite a bit. And if it is the scent of another male leopard, that will bring in on something like that. You know what it's like when you get so angry, and I'm sure everybody's experienced that, which is sad because no one likes an angry person, and I'm sure you don't like it yourself when you get angry like that. But have you ever had it where you're just so furious that you're spitting? It's literally what happens with leopards, with male leopards. They go, who's been here? I've just marked my territory. How dare they come over and, mark over my scent? It's an insult. It's a real slap to their face. And they become infuriated. Definitely got his attention. Something's got his attention in the grass. Smell. What are you lapping up, though? Can't see. Difficult. The light's also not nice. Now you're going to roll in it. Maybe it's dung of sorts too. It could be something else. They often roll in other animal dung. Look at that big belly. Look at those big spots under his belly. Hey, they're massive. They're like big blotches. I never noticed that about him. I've never seen his underbelly before. That's so cool. He's like a Dalmatian. I don't think I've ever noticed such big spots before. Does Tingana have big spots on his belly like that? I'm trying to think. Now, I know you're all panicking about Hosanna. It is very nerve-wracking. It has you sitting on the edge of your chair. But I think after the encounter that Hosanna and Hukamuri had the other day, I think Hosanna knows better to keep away. So, Sharon, I don't know where Brent left him, because I don't know where he is now. Hosanna must be about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 kilometers away. But I'm not exactly sure. But don't worry about him. He's a clever cat. I think he's learned his lesson. I think he realized that day that Hukamori is not his father and that he doesn't want to be playing games here. He should head on off to, well, another area and keep away, because Hosanna was running, remember? So I think he realized what was going on. So that's good. Let's trust Hosanna. He's in the opposite direction. Hukamuri is going north. Hosanna was seen in the far sort of southeast. Going on towards Savage's track now. Very cool. Oh my goodness, it's seen as though the old man Tingana has still got it in him. He's managed to give Steve the slip.
Yes, folks, he just got up and walked across the little water depression there, and he was quite a bit of a, what would you say? He was quite afraid of the water, and he had to jump over it. He was he was terrified of this little bit of water. He didn't want to wet his feet. But now he has just disappeared into this very deep grove of tambuetes. We managed to come all the way around. We weren't able to follow him through there. It was impossible. There's a squirrel alarm calling, but I don't trust squirrels. Squirrels are, to me, very unreliable, but there are some Franklin up ahead here that are shouting. Keep our eyes and ears peeled, Fergie. That is the way it is, folks. If a leopard decides it wants to... Oh, sorry, Ferg. It wants to go, then it just goes. And we can do what we like to try and find him. So as we try and navigate this depression, let's go over to Brent, who's driving probably better than I am at the moment.
Well, Steve, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that I'm on the road and you're not, so... So awesome, Hukamuri. So only boys today. So we went and had a look at the last tracks of Tandi. They go into a really big block where there's... Where's my map gone? It's fallen down here somewhere. You see it, Jim? Map. Yeah, map. Map. Map, map. Map, map. Someone take the map out of the car. That's strange. Maybe it's under my hat. It's not. Oh, anyway, I was going to try to show you where it is, but I don't know where the map's gone. Oh dear. I wonder what happened to it. Okay, but so between Buffelshoek East, Cheetah Cut Line, Hippo Pools Road, and Buffelshoek Cut Line, Buffelshoek East, Hippo Pools, and Cheetah Cut Line. So quite one of the largest areas with no roads in it, and very, very thick, and lots of long grass. So what we'll definitely do is have a squiz around there tomorrow morning, nice and early, see if she pops out. But I say, it's just such beautiful temperature at the moment. It's lovely out here. I'm having a thoroughly pleasant time being on drive with everyone. Vim and I are going to take a little trundle all the way to the west of the western corner of Djuma, and maybe, who knows, will Shadulu pop in to take our leopard tally to 4. Oh. So, just to let you know, there was also another 4 leopards seen today in Buffelshoek, a female with 2 cubs, and Kajima, who stole their kill. And it was just up here, so I thought maybe the female might pop out in this area as well. Well, a leopard in the hand is always better, so let's go back to Hokomori in infrared.
We do, and his eyes are glowing. He's very curious about some scents on the ground. I don't know what he has smelt. Oh, he's coming back past the car again. There he goes. Hello, beautiful. He really is a stunning cat. Cool. What I'll do is I'll reposition quickly so we stay in the game with him. But he's still around here at Treehouse Dam. He's literally going to the areas where I've seen Hosanna sitting down on the ground before. Up on termite mounds down here. So I don't know if his scent is maybe lingering or if another leopard has been around here. Remember, there's also that other young male. I think he was he identified as the Kwatile male, if I'm not mistaken? This is the Kwatile male from Manuleti. I think that was it. It could be him that he's picking his scent up on. He's just stopped again, just pausing on the road. Of course, looking back at us, as he always does, with that evil stare, which of course he means no harm by. That's just his look. He can't help it. Sometimes people, I'm sure you also get it, where they tell you that, oh, you look so unhappy today, but it's just your resting face. I can think of a few more words to add there. No, Holly, you're quite correct. He's not fearful of us at all. He's very relaxed around the cars. He started off being a little bit jumpy, and now he's settled in. I think he's realized the ways on the Sabi Sand, and well, he's quite happy to navigate around us and let us do our thing. As long as you give him a bit of room, he doesn't seem to mind. Before we stop, I'm just going to let him go around this little, we need to get around this little bend, otherwise we're going to lose him in 2 seconds again. Now he's changed direction. He's scent marking. He's definitely trying to smell what's going on. Marking everywhere. Probably re-establishing his territory. We did have a little bit of rain today. I don't think it was enough rain to wash away his scents from before. But he's obviously got his favorite trees that he likes to mark on. Where are you going now? You're going into that thicket. Don't you dare. Come back on the road, please. I think he might. He's sort of just rubbing himself up into all these trees. Where are you going? Where have you gone? Oh, there he goes. Oh, goodness gracious. Off he goes. Off we go off-road. Yeah, oh, this is going to be interesting. Trying to keep up with him in here at night as well. In the darkness. But there are lots of Impala, lots of Inyala and things down here, so that's a good sign. Let's hope he catches something so we can see him for a few more days. And that will at least keep him entertained. I don't even know where he is. Oh, there. No, he's giving us a run around, this leopard. I'm trying to find him. There he is. Sure, Craig, you're quick, eh? Did you see that? How's that leveling skill and switching on the infrared light and zooming? Sure. Right, I think we need a round of applause for Craig for doing that so fast. We are just going to get little glimpses of him here and there. Off he goes again. We'll try and navigate through this thicket, but it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, but we'll try our best. If we can see if we can do it. He's not going back towards the dam. Let's see what else is going on over here. On. Slinking away. I'm just going to focus on the road in front of me because there are lots of holes. Let's just come out of this thicket. Go. Where are you going to come out? He was just here. Okay, well, we're going to try and find out where he has gone. He's somewhere around here. Moving very slowly. Let's go and see if Steve has managed to find Tingana again.
Sadly, that male leopard who absolutely nothing during the entire time we watched him, got up and within 35 to 40 seconds disappeared. So we tried, but he went into a very thick section, and unfortunately it's just not possible. We did up and down, but he's moved off. But at least when he did stand up, he did a bit of a territorial marking on the ground where he scraped and scent marked, and then he did a deliberate very afraid of the water jump, which was quite nice to see, and then he sauntered off into the thickets away from our prying eyes. So very unfortunate that we lost him as he started getting active, but that is okay. We are going to slowly make our way back into Djuma. We are crossing the boundary right now, and who knows, I'm going to go into that area where Taylor left the tracks of Tundi and her cub, and who knows what might materialize at this time of night on our way home. As you saw with Taylor, she just bumped into Hukumuri on the road. Tingana's up and is moving. Hosana, we have no doubt, is moving somewhere. So why would Tundi not be up and mobile? We could be lucky. We could be very fortunate, and that would top off the leopard tally for the day, I think. Let's see how we go. So, any answers to my final question next that have come through with the plants that are able to do it on their own? Superb Bikes and Crifty said solo, Corey. No, it's a very nice guess though. Very nice guess. But it is a word everyone uses all the time. At aloe, it's not aloe, because aloe is something that we use when it's a pair. Aloe is something that I would do. Aloe mimetic behavior is sort of a group behavior, or aloe pruning is if I groom Ferg at the back here. I like the use of the letter A though. Monique, it's not Corey. Nice guess though. Not Corey. Our beard, it is not mono. It sounds about right, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Lara, Birdie, and Rayleigh, you got it. Auto Corey, ladies and gentlemen. Auto. There are some pods out there that you see that they sort of are there, and then they just pop and they shoot their seeds an enormous distance. What do you think, Ferg? Should we go in that one? Yeah, let's go in there. We're going to go up Drakensberg, which is on our eastern side. We're right on Cheetah Cut Line, which is our eastern boundary. But well done to those of you who got Auto Corey correct. I hope you enjoyed the little ecology sort of lesson today. And what I always love about it is that when you think about those things, look at a plant, look at the flower, look at the fruit, and then figure out how it interacts with the environment. That for me is so super interesting. And wherever I go, whenever I look at a pod or a flower or a seed, I'm always considering how it fits into the ecosystem and for how long it's been around. So let's go back over to Brent Lewis Smith, who's doing something quite similar to me.
Well, we stopped driving just to take a moment to take in that gorgeous African sunset. Beautiful. Now, of course, last night was very, very exciting because we started exploring live the least known ecosystem on our planet, the oceans, with Dive Live. And albeit, yes, there is a dive straight after this from Grand Cayman, so very, very exciting. We'll be going under the water again, and we can tease Graham some more. For those of you watching last night, I asked Graham if he skipped calf day at the gym. But it is incredible that we are going to be able to bring you the least explored ecosystem on planet Earth 100% live. Now, we're hoping for Shiduli to pop out around here. Shdoodoo, where are you? Oh, what's that on the road? You see some eyes down there. I think it's probably a nightjar, quite at a distance, but we'll go check it out anyway. Now, the vocas have been quiet for the last couple of days, Impala. And so I haven't heard them roaring, and they haven't been seen in Buffalo's Hook for the last day or two. I wonder where they went off to. Connor, someone has been lying to you. Lies, I tell you, Connor, lies. The Marshmallow King is Ralph. The Marshmallow Queen is Taylor. For those of you who don't know how you become the king or the queen of the Marshmallow Club, is that you get yourself sufficiently stuck in the mud often. And Taylor and Ralph seem to have a special ability to be stuck more than the rest of us combined. An Impala looking at something, Vimpy. I just noticed him look very attentive. There we go, we're switching into infrared, folks, so we don't blind the Impala. Nah. I think they were looking at the scrub hare that was in the road in front of us. There he is. Hello, Nokwatch. What was that? That sounded like an owl that we didn't see taking off. Whoa, sure, he's going for the scrub hare. The owl just went off for he missed it. Go further down the road. It landed a little bit to the right on the road. Wow. That owl nearly took our heads out there. It was so close. That scrub hare, you did a very smart thing. You didn't move. Let's see if we can find this owl quickly with a spotlight. There were two of them, actually. Size-wise, they were probably spotted eagle owls, just guessing. I saw it fly now. No, that's a hardy owl flying. That owl nearly took us out. Gave them Impala heart failure as well. I don't know if you guys, could you hear that, have you? That over our heads. That was quite scary. And they seem to have moved off. Sure. Excitement. My heart's aflutter. This is where we saw Shidulu on our way to Nelspruit yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it the day before? It was yesterday. Oh, the days into out here. I think you're spot on, Cheryl. The owl definitely wanted dinner, and I think it was quite close. That scrubhead did a good thing by not moving. That was pretty intense. The sound was awesome. Oh, Vim's spotted something. Whereabouts, Vimpy? On this side. Vim thinks he might have spotted some tracks, but here you go, Vim, you on the spotlight? I'm going to try to figure out what tracks these are. In the meantime, let's go see what Taylor McCurdy is doing above the water.
Ah, goodness, Brenty, I've lost Hukumuri. Can you believe it? As you sort of left you before, he just slunk away, and I turned away and I looked at camera, and I now have no idea where he's gone. He could have gone flat, but we couldn't see him around there at all. So we checked Savage's track, nothing coming out. What we're going to do now is we're going to go down Weaver's Nest and see if he pops out over there. But he had a little bit of a distance to cover before he'd actually pop out onto Weaver's Nest. He could also be coming straight towards Philemon's cut line. He wasn't really walking in one direction, was he? He's come from the west, so I doubt he'll go back west unless he hears something that entices him or smells something to go back that way. He's either going to go north or east, are my suspicions. But now, well, they're in two opposite directions. It'll be quite difficult to try relocate him again, but we'll do our best. And I suppose I'll also keep an eye out for chameleons. Hey, might as well. I'm trying to remember last night's safari. What happened to last night's safari? What happened yesterday, Craig? I was at the carcass with Tingana. I completely blanked there for a second. Ah, yes, okay. Craig, we did see a chameleon on the way home last night. That's where I was going with that conversation. Is that I'm on day 2 of chameleon finding. I promise I saw one. I even took a photo, which I can show you in a little bit. Just want to get onto Weaver's Nest, which is just here, to carry on looking for him. Hyena tracks already on the prowl. Oh, wonderful. Right. Dale, you're wondering about the safari under the sea. Right, well, you can watch it straight after Safari Live, and you can go to the Facebook page called Dive Live. If you want to watch it, and you can ask questions, and all you have to do is just comment away, basically, and do it that way. And then if you'd like to contribute to the Kickstarter campaign, you can do so, and we'd love it if you would help us with this adventure. You can head across to divelive.wildearth.tv. Please can you move off the road, Nitro? Thank you. They are not leopard tracks, these are hyena tracks. Let's just check here. So there we go, Dale. How exciting is that, eh? To have all the underwater activities too. Pretty cool to see all those amazing fish. Who knows what else you're going to see out and about. Right. Hukumuri, where are you? Do you respond like Hosana? If we call and if we whistle, do you come running? I'm of course just joking. Hosana does not do that because he's a wild leopard. Even though he behaves like a house cat. Actually, he behaves more like a dog than anything. It's quite funny. Please pop out for us. It'd be really nice if you could. No chameleons just yet, but we'd like to get 3 chameleons in a row. Oh, Puma. Goodness. Talk about making it difficult for me this evening. It sounds like I've got a tree attached to the back of my car. You want to see a bush baby. A bush baby would be very nice. I do agree with you there. Whether we're going to see one or not, I don't know. I'm trying to work out what tree we've managed to capture. We're taking it on the road. We're actually wiping the roads clean now with the brush. The branch that's behind my car, so that it'll be easier to try to follow and find the animals tomorrow morning. Now, I've never seen a leopard going after a bush baby before, Lara, but I reckon a young leopard would be very, very excited by something bounding from branch to branch. However, I don't know if a leopard could catch a bush baby. Yes, they're quick. But sure, you've seen the distances that those bush babies can leap, and they just bang, 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 quickly. So I think it's going to be tough. I mean, even watching them try and chase squirrels, and you were lucky enough to see Hosana try and do that. As he's got older, he still can't manage. He gets lucky every now and then, but most of the time, he's not lucky. Okay, well, we're going to keep trying. We'll go back up this way and see if he doesn't pop out. Hopefully Hukumuri does. But off you go back to Steve, who, well, I was teasing earlier that Tingana gave him the slip, but it's funny that Hukumuri has given me a taste of my own medicine.
Summer comes in a full circle, Cody. And yep, that's what happens out here. It's just decide to go and they go. So that's the way it works. I'm sure Taylor's been updating you on the fact that we are again doing more live diving this evening with Dive Live. Please go watch it. divelive.wildearth.tv, where Graham is going to be exploring the coral reefs of the Grand Cayman Islands. Go through and watch that and see what you think. We watched last night and it's marvelous to see these guys underwater. A little bit cooler than we are in the warm Sabi Sands. Night number 2 in that regard. So nothing as of yet. always looking for chameleons, as Taylor is. And bush babies are, they're around. I've never heard of a leopard killing a lesser bush baby, but thick-tailed, I've heard of that. I've actually heard them being killed. It is a horrible sound. They are far bigger and probably far easier to catch. Lesser bush babies are very small and very, very agile in their movements. So I wouldn't know how a leopard would be able to catch one. How far they can jump, it's ridiculous. Very, very good eyesight. I've never seen them go for lesser bush babies, Nix, but I've heard one kill, what seemed like it anyway, a thick-tailed, the greater bush baby, the thick-tailed bush baby. They're much bigger, but I've never actually seen it. No, that would be marvelous to see. I've never seen a thick-tailed in this area either. Lots and lots of lesser bush babies. I'm kind of glad there's no thick-tails here. When I lived up in the northern Kruger, they would come and stand above my roof, my tent, and the name of bush baby, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard of it before, they cry like a baby, but enormous, loud. There is a little Steinbach in the road. Sorry, young lady. Oh no, that's a baby Nyala. Sorry, Nyala. So the bush baby, it's what they sound like. It is a terrible sound, and they often will do it right above your bed when you're trying to sleep. Now, for those of you who have heard a baby cry, the purpose for the baby crying is to attract the attention of the adults. So a bush baby, when it cries, makes a very loud sound, and I don't quite appreciate that sound, especially at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And the one we had up in Makoleki, up in the northern Kruger, used to sort of start its crying at about 10 past 3, and would go until about just 10 minutes before we're supposed to wake up at about 6 o'clock. And he didn't mind. We tried to put in some complaints, but nothing was done about it. He did it regularly. I can't say you ever quite get used to that sound. I never did. So we've come along Central, which is the road that Taylor was tracking Tundi earlier, in the hopes, obviously, of her just materializing out of the thick bush, as these leopards so often do, but nothing at the moment. This is the dip. I nearly killed Senzo the one day, Ferg. Just by the way, I was too busy focusing on chameleons, and Scott had given us a challenge on a chameleon. But Taylor has found something. Let's go over to her and her spots.
Can you hear it? I'm just going to keep going because I want to follow this hyena. Making all sorts of strange noises, aren't you, buddy? Let's watch it. It's going to disappear now. There it goes. Off behind the tree. Okay. I thought it was going to find the leopard for us, but sadly not today. Nice to see the hyena. We haven't had any luck on trying to relocate on this leopard. I don't know where he has gone. Ah, goodness. Right, that was quite cool though to hear the hyena whooping, don't you think? It's a beautiful sound. An eerie sound if you don't know what it is though, but quite cool to hear. And so close. I'm sorry I had to keep the car going, but I didn't want to lose sight of it because it was moving quite quickly. I'm just doing one last search. Maybe we get a glimpse of a last minute leopard. That would be really, really cool. Cool way to, of course, end the safari this evening. Goodness. We've been super, super lucky, haven't we, with all the leopards we've seen on the sunrise safari, and then now the sunset safari. Very cool. Now, for those of you that would like to help us with the Kickstart campaign, remember you can head to divelive.wildearth.tv. That's where you go. And then in order to watch Dive Live, which will be starting in about 25 seconds, you can head to the Facebook page, Dive Live, and you can watch there. That's going to